This week in Seaside, Oregon, when tourists find two horribly murdered bodies at the beach, detectives quickly begin to hunt a couple of locals who may have been trying to imitate a movie with these murders, but police won't have an easy time finding them. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another absolutely crazy edition of Small Town Murder. We try to never let you down, but
certainly
gotta have the extra crazy ones, and this is one of them. Just a wild story of senseless depravity. It's crazy stuff. Can't wait to get into it. Before we get into that, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com, where you can find, first of all the merch that you ever could want. Anything, if you go, hey, that's pretty funny, it's probably on a t-shirt. So check that out. Or a hat or a coffee cup or a doormat or a skateboard or whatever you want it on. Get your tickets to Small Town Murder live shows, though. That is the important thing. We have September the 18th at the Pabst in Milwaukee. Not a ton of tickets left for that, so if you want to go see that, definitely get those now. Next night, September the 19th at the State Theater in Minneapolis will also be there, so get your tickets right now. Those are the next two live shows. And then in October, we have Dallas, San Jose, Sacramento, and in November, Terrytown in Boston. And then the holidays. So get your tickets now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. While you're listening to this show, also maybe check out the other two shows.
Give it a run.
Crime and Sports, which, God, we've just been doing some really funny, great episodes on that. So check that out. And also Your Stupid Opinions is absolutely hilarious. Find out why Ross's new slogan is what you should do by listening to that. Also, get yourself Patreon. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. That's where you get all the bonus material. All you have to be is $5 a month or above. You get every damn thing we put out. Yeah. As soon as you subscribe, you're going to get hundreds of back episodes, almost 400 back bonus episodes immediately upon subscription to binge that whole feed. Then you get new ones every other week, one Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you, my friends, get it all. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, it is Hostage Situations Part 2. Because Part 1 was just so good, we were like, we need more of those because they were fun. Yeah. And then Small Town Murder, it's back, everybody. Call all the relatives, gather everybody together. Oh, yeah. It is prisoner dating game time. I know how excited everybody gets for it. So Prisoner Dating Game is back. What we do here is I'm going to line up 4 bachelors and 4 bachelorettes in front of Jimmy, and all they have in common, they all have one thing in common, and that is they are all currently incarcerated violent felons. Now, Jimmy has no idea. Terrible. Jimmy has no idea what they did, when they get out, or anything like that. What he does know is what they tell him in the profile. That's all he's got to choose from. And then he gets to find out what they did and how terrible of a decision that he's come to. It's very fun. So that's a good time. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. On top of that, you also get all the shows we put out, all ad-free as well. And in addition to that, you also get a shout out at the end of the show. So it's a good deal. Do that right now. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. That said, disclaimer time. This is a comedy show, everybody. Now, you might say, a comedy show, I want to hear a murder story. You're going to hear an extremely real murder story. We try to have the best research and the most facts and the most stuff we can possibly get in here. And we give jokes too. That's just because we're comedians and we can't help it. There's no situation where we don't feel a joke might lighten up the mood a little bit. And you go, well, how does that work? Well, very easily here. We'd never make fun of the victims.
No.
Or the victims' families.
Why is that?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags. See? That's how that works. It's real nice. It's real clean and easy. There's plenty other stuff to make fun of. Some small town. We're all from some town that deserves to be made fun of. Who cares? We make fun of murderers because fuck them. Who cares? Let them have it. So that's the type of thing we make fun of, and it's a good time. So if you think true crime and comedy should never, ever go together, I don't know. You might not like the show, but you probably will. Either way, no complaining later. Let's just say that. With that said, I think it's time, everybody, to sit back. What do you say here? Let's clear the lungs. Here we go. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody. Okay. Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're going to Oregon. which
It's always a good time.
we like Oregon. Oregon's
Yeah.
cool. They got water there. It's nice. We're going to Seaside, Oregon, which, shocker, is by the sea.
Near the ocean.
It is beside the sea, Seaside. It's far northwestern Oregon, all the way up there. It's about an hour and a half to Portland, about 3.5 hours to Seattle, and about 5 hours and 10 minutes to Grants Pass, Oregon, which was our last Oregon case, episode number 670. That was the Cult of the Naked Truth, which was crazy episode for an express there. This is in Clatsop County. Clatsop, I believe is how you say that. Clatsop. Clatsop. That sounds right. Clatsop, something like that. Area code 503 and 971.
Yes, sir.
Can't hold these people with one area code. Little bit of history of this town here. The Clatsop were a Native American tribe that lived here. That's where that comes from here. It's the coast, so obviously indigenous people are where things are, like fish and things like that. So a lot of
water
this was
stuff. Yeah.
Big indigenous spot by rivers. So and on January 1st, 1806, a group of men from the Lewis and Clark expedition built a salt making thing here at the site. Okay, they wanted to, which basically they do seawater and make salt.
Yeah, evaporated water.
This is what turned into the town of Seaside. Was the salt works, basically.
Really?
The Lewis and Clark reached the Pacific Ocean. They set up camp north of Seaside by the mouth of the Columbia River, and then a few of the members traveled south to set up a salt works where ocean water could be boiled to harvest the salt. They needed the salt because there's no other way to cure meat back then. So you could either eat it before it gets bad, or you can salt it and save it for later. So the city was not incorporated until 1899, when the coastal resort areas started being settled. They said, okay, we got to start collecting some taxes, and, you need to set up an infrastructure if you have tourists. You have to have roads and all that kind of thing. So there was a real estate developer who donated land to the city of Seaside for its 1.5 mile long promenade, or prom as they call it there. Going to the prom, they all say, along Pacific Beach. In the 20s through the 40s, it was a big stop for musicians on the West Coast because it was a little tourist town. It was like playing the Catskills in the East Coast.
20s through the 40s, huh?
20s through the 40s, Duke Ellington and Glenn Miller and all those type of people came through here. There was a riot in 1962 during the summer. A concert was supposed to happen, and it got canceled, and the teenagers went fucking batshit. They went crazy.
Anything I know about teenagers, they hate when you tell them no music.
No concert when they're jacked up for it. Paul Revere and the Raiders were supposed to be there. God, no, and they didn't make it. So then a fist fight near the Times Theater between two teenagers escalated. It started with a fist fight between two teenagers, okay? Awesome. The police got involved, basically, because they're all drunk and pissed off and, looking for something. So the police tried to intervene in this, and that sparked the crowd to get involved. And the next thing you know, the fire department was hosing down the crowd with their hoses, which didn't stop them. Instead, people cut the hoses. They stole fire truck keys. They stole fire trucks. Eventually, the National Guard and state police had to come to quell a bunch of drunk teenagers who were mad that Paul Revere and the Raiders weren't coming to town.
No, but I got a fire truck.
Holy shit, just going, I'm running the horn, everybody. Isn't that fun?
I know Paul Revere and the Raiders, but I can't name a goddamn song.
No, I don't remember any of them either, and I know a lot of old shit like that.
I know they're very, very popular. I've heard probably... I'm sure I've heard an entire album.
Pre-Beatles shit right before
Just
that.
didn't stick.
Nope. Reviews of this town, 5 stars. And we probably know like 10 of their songs.
You do. Absolutely. 100%.
Every word to them, yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, they're standards.
Who wrote it?
5 stars. Seaside is a lovely town. We truly enjoy living here. You can ride bikes everywhere, go to the rec center, enjoy many different restaurants, hang out at the beach, garden, go to the movies, walk the boardwalk, and on and on.
Live
stuff
like an Oregon lifestyle.
You can eat food and watch TV and sit down and walk around sometimes if you want. Yeah. Maybe make some popcorn. Whatever. You just do what you want. 3 stars. It's a very sad small town.
No.
It has not gotten any better in the past few years, and I don't feel like it will change now. Crime seems to only get worse. If you are considering moving to Seaside, I recommend any of the nearby beach towns. Sure, they all have their flaws, but they still have some character left. Seaside, Oregon is good for visiting only. Right. And this is a tourist spot, so you're going to get crime. I mean, there is not a tourist spot on Earth where crime doesn't happen. Tourists are easy marks, which attract criminals, and that's how that works.
Also, when it's a tourist town, if you go there as a tourist, you can break the law and get the fuck out.
Exactly. So there's a lot of public urination and dumb shit like that, fingering each other on the beach, whatever the hell the deal is. 3 stars, it's a small town with not much to do. Overall is really good for sunsets and pretty good for seafood food.
Pretty good for it.
Seafood food.
Not bad. I mean, right in the middle.
Sunsets are nice on the Pacific Ocean. Really, that's weird. 2 stars, the job market fluctuates a lot in Seaside because it is based in tourism. Right. This causes a lot of problems with stability in jobs. Right. Absolutely. Most jobs in Seaside won't provide much work in the winter. That's kind of how it goes. And then finally, 1 star. Wow. Horrible crime. You can't leave your house without seeing flocks of drug addicts.
Flocks of them?
I'd rather call them a herd or a murder, wouldn't you? A flock? I don't know if a flock is appropriate. Something like that, yeah. Drug addicts nor take a nature walk without seeing vagrant camps full of dirty used needles and stolen goods from local neighborhoods. Right. Crime rates are higher than the city. Cost of living is outrageous compared to wages and compounds the crime and drug problems. Nearly 8 feet of rain per year is too much, plus completely overrun and trashed by tourists in the summer.
8 feet?
This is the Pacific Northwest. It's the far northwestern Oregon. So, I mean, this is
that much?
Every storm that comes. Yeah, it's
8 feet.
It's a lot. You're getting a lot of rain here. People in this town, 7,058. So not a huge town. That's the kind of year-round number. Yeah. Way more women than men. 55.4% women, which is way out of whack for a town of 7,000. That's a lot. I don't think I've ever seen it that high over 200 people, you know. Median age here, they're older, 51.2.
Wow.
This is like we're going to retire by the beach type of shit here. It's only 42% married. None of that. It's not really a suburbs, wife and kids in the yard type of shit there. Race in this town, 85% white, 1.2% black, 1% Asian, which is low for the Pacific Northwest, 8.4% Hispanic. And then the religion here, 27.7% religious, which I agree. If you have the ocean, you don't need that. You're just like, I'm going to go to the beach on Sunday instead. Yeah. I feel like,
but that might convince you that something else exists. If it's that fucking beautiful, how the fuck could this just be a coincidence?
That's the opposite for me. I started looking into the science of it, and I'm like, this is incredible.
Somebody's got to feel that way, right?
Probably, yeah. People look at majestic things and they go, someone had to create that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they go, it's too pretty. It's like a picture. Someone must have.
Yeah, there's no way this is just a coincidence.
Yeah, tons of people think that. That's fine. Think whatever you want.
Just go, I don't need anything else.
Yeah. Just go, this is great. Think whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Doesn't bother me. 27.7, and it's mainly like other Christian faith. It's all kind of spread around the religions, a hodgepodge. 0.0% Jewish, though. Unemployment rate in this town, little bit high, which seems odd for a town with a lot of tourism. At least there's a lot of shit jobs, I know. I don't know if they're any good. Median household income here, now rest of the country, it's almost 70,000. Here it is 41,488.
Really?
So pretty damn low. Now, I don't know if some of that is the fact that you have older people, maybe some Social Security income.
Perhaps.
People mixed with people that work at a souvenir shop.
Yeah.
That sells T-shirts and shit. So cost of living here, though, 100 is regular average. Here it's 107, which is
it's
high.
Incredibly high compared to what the income is. Are they still doing the salting?
No. I mean, there might be some kind. I don't know if they. I don't think they do that here. It's probably more profitable to put a motel up instead.
Probably, yeah.
A thing of salt that's like this big is like 49 cents. I don't understand how salt is a business. I really don't.
That exotic pink Himalayan shit is
different.
not cheap. It's still cheap.
It's still cheap. That's different. I'm talking your regular iodized Morton's, that paper card thing that's not quite cardboard that it comes in. It's like 49 cents for 8 pounds of it. How the fuck is anybody
the lady
make
with
money?
the umbrella? They cost nothing. Yeah.
Cost nothing. And I don't understand how, just to ship that heavy, a pallet of that would be so heavy. It would cost something to ship more than 50 cents.
By weight alone at the post office, it costs more to ship than it does to purchase.
And you have one of those for like 7 years also. So it's not like you're buying them every 2 weeks. You're spending another 50 cents. It's everybody spends like $1.50 every decade on salt, basically. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you get I get the kosher, the thicker stuff, just because it melts better into into foods and stuff. Even that's so cheap compared to how long it takes to get rid of that is crazy.
How much you have, median home cost here, this is wild, $465,300.
Wow.
So median income, $41,000. Home cost, $465,000. I don't understand. If you live here,
broken.
If you're living here doing tourist jobs and shit, you're screwed. Yeah, you're scraping by. So if we've convinced you, damn it, Seaside's the place to go. We have for you the Seaside, Oregon Real Estate Report. Average 2-bedroom rental here goes for $1,230. So that is actually below the national average with the housing.
Is it 14
that high? It's like $1,290.
Okay,
almost 13. Here's the first house. It's a trailer. Don't get too excited here.
Yeah.
Not bad on the inside, though. Laminate or wood floors that look decent. It's clean in there. It looks nice and well-maintained. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,440 square feet. It is a double wide.
Yeah.
You can see it's got the 2 windows up front here. It is built in 1975. This is $69,999.
Okay.
So, not bad. Just had a
rent, right?
Yeah, there's no square footage on there's no lot size, so that means you don't own it. $16,000 price cut they just had on that too. So get in there, everybody. Deal, smoking deal. Yeah. Here is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,560 square foot house. Nice house, got some brick on it, pretty decent. Built in 1968, $270,000. So that's kind of your average entry level house, and for $270, which isn't too bad. Then we have, and a lot of times the housing prices are driven up by the real expensive houses. That's how the median gets driven up, but it's not a lot of those. Here's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, T-bowl for each and every B-hole, everybody. 4,100 square feet, right on the ocean. Beach is your backyard. Built in 1940 on a third of an acre. It's a nice house, very well done inside too. $2,600,000.
For no land, it's the water.
It's the water. You're on the ocean, the beach, and everything else. So, I mean, if you want to live on the water, it's going to cost you. That's it.
I guess.
Things to do here. Well, go to the beach, dipshit. That's one thing to do. The promenade thing and all the stuff there. So that's a big deal. And then there is the Seaside Sand Fest.
Sand Fest?
Sand Fest, which sounds terrible. Sounds like I'm going to be itchy. Yeah. It says, join us here, featuring master-level sculptors, advanced amateur sculptors, instructors, vendors, and a one-of-a-kind beach experience in Seaside. Basically, this is crazy sandcastles that they built, which are pretty interesting. I mean, I see those and I go, wow, that took a lot of time. Doesn't seem worth it. And then I leave. It's not
I'm very happy for you to have made that 11,000-foot-long mermaid. But
it's like making an ice sculpture, though. It is temporary. It is not going to last.
Yeah. And also, how'd you carve out that much time?
Well, yeah, who says I'd like my art to be extremely fleeting? I'd like to make it and then just have it disappear after a minute. That's what I'd like. Etch-a-sketch art is what I'm looking for.
Water doesn't get it. Have you seen the Sphinx? Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
And this is just sand. This isn't,
that's not
they haven't
sandstone.
baked anything. Yeah, there's nothing here. The master sculptors will hold a contest September 17th through 20th. Advanced amateurs will be a different date. It says, after years of busking and offering lessons. In other words, after years of bothering people on the beach, is what he said. This person, you want me to teach you how to build a sandcastle? No, fuckhead, I'm on vacation.
Got a bucket.
Leave me alone. Yeah, I have a little rake thing that I bought for $4 at that store. Bert Adams hosted yet another beach and sand sculpture event. After 4 years of growth, this was a couple years ago, Seaside Sand Fest offers a week of watching professional sand sculptors do their thing.
Right.
Is that what you want to do? Watch sand sculptors do their thing?
I'm impressed when they can get the sand to stand up. Like
it's pretty impressive.
Like Poseidon with this fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. They wet it down a little. You get the whole thing.
The trident. That's pretty impressive.
It is. Crime rate in this town, what we are interested in here, it is high. Property crime, again, a beach tourist town.
Sure.
Almost 3 times the national average of property.
What?
That's theft. That's, public urination.
That's the highest we've ever heard of.
Drunkenness. Nah, we've heard more than that.
3 times?
We've heard worse than 3 times. Yeah, I think. But that's a lot, though. I mean, that's
outrageous.
Like I said, pick any beach tourist town. That's what it's going to be. It's just what it is. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime, slightly above average, but not too bad. So that's in the normal range. So I think this is mainly dumb people doing dumb shit when they're drunk on vacation in the middle of the night. Right. That said, let's talk about some murder here.
Here we go.
Which wasn't just some dumb people doing some dumb shit in the middle of the night. This was pretty crazy. Let's go back in time to 1997. 1997. So we're pre any kind of social media, there's cell phones, but they're only for making calls, and it's extremely expensive, and the battery dies very quickly. So
not a lot of technology that's impressive yet.
No, I mean, there's the internet, but nobody has high-speed internet yet. This is still dial-up internet.
Everybody still has those projection TVs with the 3 fucking bulbs.
This is the .com boom at this time. Yeah. So 5 a.m., July 14th, 1997. So middle of the summer, middle of the tourist season. 5 a.m., there's tourists out for a morning beach stroll. Isn't that nice?
That's what you do.
Nothing better than taking that morning beach walk. For me, it would be late at night, and then I'll go to sleep. But either way.
I love a little coffee.
However you want to work it. So they're out for a morning beach stroll, and they're thinking, maybe I'll find some shells.
Yeah.
Things like that, nice things.
Some wash up on the beach that was fed on last night.
Message in a bottle, maybe. Wouldn't that be romantic? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Pirate's booty.
They find 2 people, and they think at first, there's people sleeping on the beach.
On the beach.
But they're not. They're found, there's 2 adults, a man and a woman, lying face up with large bullet holes in their head. Just lying on the beach.
Shot on the beach, though.
Shot on the beach. So this is definitely, this will ruin your vacation, I would say.
For sure. Yeah.
This will fuck it all up. Now you got to go down to the station. How many days do you have there? How much time do you have to spend?
At least 1 all day, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to. They were found on the beach near 6th Avenue in the early morning there. Each of the bodies had sustained single close-range fatal gunshot wounds to the head, front of the head. So they were they said that the shots were from a range of 1 to 3 feet for the female and not less than 3 feet for the male. So that's how it worked. Or I'm sorry, the other way around, male and female. Okay. The victims were otherwise uninjured. There's no
torture,
stabbing, or there's no bruising of beating or anything like that. So they didn't understand it. There's no weapon at the scene at all, but there are a lot of footprints, and they find shell casings there also, and some physical evidence that they could possibly, unfortunately too, footprints in the sand.
Not good.
Pretty fleeting. Again, this is a temporary thing. So you got to take
sandcastles.
Got to take your pictures and all that kind of shit. Yeah. Now the Seaside police chief said, "We believe this is an isolated incident, and we're continuing our investigation at the crime scene." How they pulled that out of their asses, I have no idea.
Yeah. What does that?
They've been there an hour.
Yeah.
They're still processing, and they're like, we believe that everyone should still go out and spend money, is what we're saying. This is an isolated incident. Don't worry about it.
There's no rain today, so everything's fine.
Blue skies, everything seems fine to me. So among the few leads they can muster up here at first is 2 men who were at a campfire late that night and going early into the morning, said two other men who were about 19 or 20 years old, not kids, but not really adults type of thing, approached and somehow gave them the impression that they were plotting to kill them, the people at the fire, two people at the fire. Yeah. Now the police say anybody who was on that beach at that time is a person of interest, and until we talk to them, they will continue to be persons of interest. So you are guilty if you've been on this beach, basically, until we clear you. Now there are some witnesses. Like we said, there is one witness who they said was a blonde man who appeared to be intoxicated and had trouble walking and talked slowly and whose eyes were red, which if they're very intoxicated, that'll do it.
Fucked up, yeah.
Then there was a brown-haired man as well, out of the two guys they said, the 19 and 20-year-old guys. One blonde, one brown hair. The brown-haired man appeared to be normal, they said. Acting normal, wasn't shit-faced, not being weird. They said that one of them, the dark-haired one, said his name was Jeremy.
Yeah.
So they have an unknown drunken blonde man and Jeremy the brunette is who they're looking for, essentially, which is, a needle in a haystack or a needle in a beach sand, either one, however you want to put it.
It's the second time I've heard of somebody from the Pacific Northwest named Jeremy, so it seems to be a common name.
Got to watch out for him.
Yeah.
Well, that Jeremy already took care of his own problems by the time this happened. That Jeremy was all washed out by then. Yeah. Long gone.
He was all over all the other kids.
Yep. So we find out who the victims are first. The victims are, first of all, the young lady is Gabriella Brooke Goza, Goza. She's 26 years old. She goes by Brooke. That's what everybody calls her middle name. She has two kids, we find out. Mother of two. This is very sad. She comes from kind of a prominent family. Her father is a doctor, Dr. Larry. Yeah, Dr. Larry Goza. So she is not trailer trash or anything like that. Like, she comes from a prominent family, 26 years old, mother of two. So they're like, well, this is weird. This isn't great. She is described as a very artistic person. She did a ton of art. She made pictures that people put up in local restaurants and things like that with her art. She quit high school and got married, which is never a good idea. She later got a GED from community college there. I think it was Clatsop Community College. And in 1989, she had a daughter named April. In 1993, she has a son. So she's got two kind of little kids. They're 4 and 8 at this point, which are
This is 97, so she had
4
them young.
Oh, yeah, she had them young. She dropped out of high school to get married, so they started having kids. I guess nowadays she hangs out at the beach a lot, and she works as a cook at a restaurant job.
All right.
So probably not exactly what Dr. Larry had in mind, her dad.
Yeah, certainly letting him down a little bit.
Yeah, she told everyone she was trying to earn money toward college, which I don't know, her parents weren't paying for it, I guess. She went to Astoria High School originally and attended Clatsop Community College in Astoria for 3 years, and she wanted to have a teaching degree with a major in art. She wanted to be an art teacher, essentially.
Yeah.
So for years, she lived in an apartment under her dad's office. There was an apartment under the office, and she lived there with her son and daughter for a time.
Sure.
And then she ended up moving to Seaside in 1997. This was nearby, but not in Seaside particularly. In May of 97, she moves to Seaside. And her dad said, so, I mean, this was, 2 months before this happened.
Yeah.
She moved to Seaside.
She divorced?
By now, yes. Yeah. I don't even know if they ever ended up getting married or not. I'm not sure.
She dropped out to get married, but then may or may not have gotten married.
May not have followed through with the actual marriage, or we're not sure. Her dad, Dr. Larry, said, quote, she moved to Seaside about 8 weeks ago and was completely on her own. She was no longer on assistance from the state, and we all felt she was making progress.
Oh.
She's had some troubles here. Everybody in her family felt she was doing good. So is what the dad said. He said also that his relationship with his daughter improved when she moved to Seaside.
I wonder what happened.
She moves to Seaside without the kids, though. The kids stay with Dr. Larry and Mom.
Oh, with Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, the kids are staying there. She moved to Seaside, and I guess since then they've been getting along better with her not living with them, I guess.
There was a challenge she faced somewhere, huh?
Something's going on here. Her children came to visit her a couple times a week, and she was very close to her children, is what her brothers and her mother said. So she was still paying attention to her kids. She didn't just leave them behind. She was a regular at Sam's Seaside Cafe. The owner of the cafe said that she had a very positive outlook on life and very creative, and he was planning on displaying one of her paintings on the wall, but didn't get a chance to before she was killed, basically.
Oh, she painted the children's menu the best?
That's it. She did one of those maps on the back of it, actually, on the placemat. It was very detailed, though.
I do love those family cafes where they've got whatever the kids' menu is, and they've just got they're fucking wallpapered with them, and they're just terrible colorings.
Awful. Kids can't color for shit. We shouldn't encourage them when they're coloring that poorly.
Don't
we
hang
should go.
That shit on the wall.
Nice try. I'm proud of you for trying. That's not very good.
Try harder.
Try harder. Do better.
See those lines?
Keep the lines.
Color in there.
In those lines. There's a point to this. So he said that, she'll be missed, is what the guy said. The owner of the cafe said she loved to hang out and meet people. She was very friendly, and she'd go up to people she didn't know and just talk to them. Okay. Also what she would do in this, going up and talking to people, that's fine. This part of it is not okay. She would sometimes grab poems out of her backpack and read them to people that she didn't even know.
Okay.
How you doing? I'm Brooke, blah, 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 blah. Let me read you a poem.
Poetry, I'm
out.
I got shit to do.
I'm very late. But you're on vacation. You don't understand.
It's getting so cold.
This is ridiculous right now. My Captain Crunch is getting soggy. I need to go immediately. So she would do that. And she wrote her own. These aren't like other people. Let me read you some Wadsworth. She would read her own poems.
She faced a challenge somewhere. I'm certain of it.
Had to have. So her poems, which the restaurant owner described as, quote, life poems. I don't know what that means. He said we're part of the whole vibe of the restaurant, basically, was her and her poems. She fit in with the fabric of it. She's only been here for 8 weeks, too. This isn't like, she's been here for 10 years.
Fast.
He said some regular couples came in, and she'd often read poems to them. They must have been good poems to not get kicked out of the restaurant for doing that.
Yeah.
They have to be decent, but people go, I don't want to, and then she reads and they go, it actually wasn't too bad. Okay. And then they go back to what they're talking about.
It's like Mr. Deeds reading greeting cards, though. It's like people are excited
against
for
their
this?
will. Yeah. Sit down and listen to my soul fucking come out of my body, please. She also sang at Sam's sometimes. They had open mic nights, and she would join some band that was playing, and she would sing. So she likes to hang out and have a good time. On the Friday before she was killed, she was at Sam's singing with some other guitar player that was playing guitar, and she was singing. The owner of Sam's said that after Sam's closed that night, a group of people went to the beach club, and he said she sat with us there until they closed. And he said during the summer, there's a lot of times when, especially the workers of the bars and stuff, they're not ready to go home when the bars close, which is
they never
everywhere. No, it's you just got off work.
Yeah.
People get off work at 5. They don't go, okay, I'm going to go home and go right to bed. No one does that when they get off work. Well, I don't understand why they expect these people to be different.
And then the late shift people, they get their shift drink too. So they're going to. Yeah. If we just closed, I still get a shift drink. I'm sitting here until this motherfucker's gone.
That's it. So they said basically they just go to the beach after all the bars were closed, and they said sometimes they would get some to-go beer, and they'd go down to the beach and have a bonfire and hang out like people do. She said the guy said she often went down on the beach with people late at night. So to find her on the beach in the morning isn't
not rare.
Yeah. Not rare that she would be at the beach. It's not like what's she doing at the beach in the middle of the night. Right. She hangs out and does stuff. When she's I guess, like I said, she's working as a cook at a restaurant. One of the jobs she had was at Gregorio's Pizza, where she worked as a pizza cook. which is pretty cool. That was until the 4th of July. Then she worked for a short time at Rob's restaurant. And the last night that Sam's guys talked to her, she was excited about a new job she'd be starting at Riley's restaurant.
Great.
So she's in like the course of a month. She's on her 3rd job here, which restaurants, you kind of have to find the vibe that fits you.
Yeah, I think that any career that you're in, if you're not actively looking for a better opportunity, then you're going to always stay put. It's never going to get better.
Absolutely. Especially, like I said, a restaurant. Sometimes you don't like how it works. You don't like the food. You don't like the, cooks you're stuck with or whatever it is. And so you're like, I don't want to be here.
And maybe the next one's paying a little better.
That's the other thing too. Maybe it's, $11 an hour instead of 10 or whatever back then. Yeah. So Dr. Larry here, Brooke's father, said that his daughter did have an outlook on life. And the way he put it, she was starting to turn her life around.
Okay. So she really went hard into having fun for a minute.
Yes. And her parents were pissed off at her for a while.
Absolutely.
Her father said this in the newspaper, quote, I was at odds with her for years because I wanted her to be a better mommy.
Not disappointed, furious.
Pissed. Yes. That's and disappointed that, then you have these kids and you leave them with me. And that sucks. You know what I mean? You got to be more there. He also said that he felt she started to overcome her problems recently and was coming into her own more, which she's 26. A lot of people, it takes, sometimes it takes you till you're 30, 33 to figure out what the hell's going on in your life. It really, and that's the shit part is if you have kids, you don't have that luxury of figuring yourself out when you're 30. You got to have your shit together as soon as one pops out of the fucking canal there.
And sometimes for girls, it's harder to keep that child-free lifestyle going because sometimes it's not up to you whether or not you know what I mean?
They're the ones getting knocked up.
Yeah,
they
you
can't.
don't know until you miss a period.
Okay, imagine if guys could get knocked up. We would be constantly pregnant. Constantly, we would be a mess. We would be imagine if everybody wanted to fuck us and we could get pregnant. Everything else is still the same, except for some reason every woman wants to fuck us and they can knock us up. We would be, oh my God, there would be drive-through abortion clinics if we had that. Because how many abortions have you had this year? Like 8 this year. I had about 13 last year, so less. We'd be a
there would
mess.
be a liquid to drink. That would be you would mix in your Budweiser. That would fix it.
Everything would be over the counter. It works better with alcohol. It would be right on the label, and you'd put it. You'd put it in your beer and drink it. That's how guys would be.
You'd get it for free when you bought an AR.
So, I find it hilarious when guys start to get moralistic about women and she needs to stop. Oh, you would be pregnant 100 times by now because I would too. So don't fucking think you wouldn't.
Yeah, I've helped out when I've made mistakes.
Yeah. So the other victim, the male victim, is Frank Kevin Nims, Nims. So they both have 4-letter last names with a Z in them. What are the odds of 2 people hanging out together, both with 4-letter last names, both containing a Z? Just mathematically.
Nimz?
Nimz.
Weird.
Just the mathematical odds of that are crazy. Yeah. He's 36 years old. He goes by Casey with a K, Kacy. That's what everyone calls him. His dad's name is also Frank. So I think he picked the nickname, so there was no confusion.
What's he do?
He's 36. A little bit about him here. He's born and raised in Portland. Sure. He spent his teen years in the Milwaukee area, Milwaukee, Oregon, not Wisconsin.
They got one?
Yes, it's right outside of Portland.
Okay.
I thought we've done a bonus episode there or something, maybe. Doesn't matter. Either way, he became a part-time Seaside resident in his early 20s, says his brother Don, who we'll hear from a lot in this episode. In 1981, he had a son named Kenny, which, again, he had a kid very young. I mean,
Kenny.
16 years, 20, he had a kid. Then in 1985, he has a daughter named Tasha. Tasha with an E on the end, so like Tasha almost, but I think it's Tasha. Now, he worked at a Portland area cleaner, what is it? Oh, a cleaner, I guess, and cleaner filter and computer chip factory he worked at. They made filters and computer chips at this factory.
It's got to be a cleaner filter for your computer chip?
I don't know. How often does that need to be cleaned? It's inside.
Software?
I don't know.
It's software that like clears out like your cookies or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I think this is like physical filters.
Like
they're making like air conditioning filters. Yeah. He would always when it would be slow there and there wasn't a lot of work, he would go to the coast to do commercial fishing.
Oh,
which is a crazy job. Now, according to his brother Don's a dentist and has a dental practice in Milwaukee.
How about this? They both got doctors in the family.
Yeah. Don said of Casey, quote, he was a heck of a fisherman.
Oh.
Casey loved the outdoors. He'd spend his free time hunting, fishing, skiing, riding motorcycles, camping.
Oh, he's a fucking cool guy.
He's a party, this guy. Yeah. This is hilarious. Don says something right out of a deodorant commercial. Quote, he worked hard and played hard. Yeah. He didn't let a day go by that he didn't do something exciting. He was a true Oregonian.
He's an Old Spice man.
This is hilarious. Yeah. He's a speed stick kind of a fella. So, although Casey has a couple of problems with the law that we'll talk about as well.
Oh.
His brother said he was a kind person. He said he met people and made friends at the drop of a hat. We'll find out why he also. We'll find out why he also makes friends like that too. That's why these two are hanging out together.
Yeah,
they're both easygoing. He said that any rough times he'd been going through seemed to be over. The brother said. He said he'd been doing a lot better the last couple of years. So we have two people who seem to be doing better than they were before. Now,
two parents.
Two parents, each with two children, each with a boy and a girl, as a matter of fact. Now, August 10th, 1994, he had some trouble. And this isn't him getting in trouble. This is some trouble finding him. He was apparently, it was about 1 a.m., and he was bicycling home. This is in Seaside.
Yeah.
And he decided to stop near 10th Avenue and near the river to have a cigarette. Yeah. Just stop and have a cigarette.
Right.
A pickup truck full of kids, teenagers, pulled up and jumped him, basically. They all jumped out of the truck and beat the shit out of him.
Wow.
They beat him severely. They kicked him in the head more than 20 times. They took his wallet and his bicycle and just basically left him bleeding in the blackberry bushes.
What the fuck?
No reason. There's a bunch of asshole teenagers decided to roll a guy.
Why would you do that?
It makes no sense to me either. I don't get it.
They
were later caught after attacking another bicyclist. So they were just going around, whoever they found, they were just attacking people. So he survived the attack, obviously, Casey, but he was in serious condition in the hospital for a while. He was not in good shape. His criminal record got a couple of things going on, too. He has convictions for assault and drug dealing, Casey does. He was released from the Oregon State Correctional Institution in 1991 after serving 2 years of a 10-year drug conviction sentence.
That's a hefty one.
That's a hefty one. That means you've gotten busted a couple of times and you were selling. So that's what's going on. And they're saying now he hasn't been doing that lately. He hasn't been selling drugs. He's been doing better and working jobs and whatever. Okay. So two people with apparently pasts
checkered a little.
Are hanging out together, but nice people that everybody likes and not bad people, not people that hurt people or anything like that. Casey's brother said, he heard the reports that there was people making that the possible perpetrators here of this murder were making threatening remarks to a bunch of people on the beach that morning.
Oh.
And brother Don said if any of them had said anything menacing within Casey's earshot, he likely would have stood up and said bullshit. So he's saying my brother would have said go fuck yourself, or told these kids where to go, which it sounds like he would have probably.
Yeah, especially if a guy got beat up by a bunch of kids, a couple of kids making some. Less than 20 of them, we're going to have some words.
But he said that he doesn't seem afraid, which you might be a little, little flinchy of any kind of teenagers if you've been pummeled by them in the past. Now, there's a bunch of people around town saying, well, they shouldn't have been out on the beach that late then. Because we find out from where they were that basically they were out on the beach at like 4 a.m. So like they were found within an hour of this killing.
Wow.
But they said that, people were saying, well, they shouldn't be out there that late. You're asking for trouble if you're sitting on a beach at 4 a.m. with, your friend. God
is
forbid.
That where the trouble is?
That's where the trouble is, apparently.
I didn't know.
Weird, right? I didn't realize it either. How dare you?
I thought the beach was like the happiest place.
No. You get away from there or you deserve to be hurt.
As soon as the sun goes down, you got to get the fuck off the beach.
Sit in your house like a respectable person, you fucking bum. What are you doing enjoying the beach and the weather here? That's bullshit. Waiting for the sun to rise? Fuck you. Crazy. By the way, Casey has a fiance named, I believe her name is Bonnie also at this point. I can't remember. I'll find out her name in a minute. But he has a fiance. So what the hell is he doing with some chick out on the beach at 4 a.m.?
Yeah. Bonnie'd love to know.
I don't know about you, but I've been engaged before. And if you come home and they say, what were you doing? Just hanging out with my friend at the beach at 4 a.m. Who's she? Oh, just chick 10 years younger than me. It's no big deal. You're probably going to get a talking to.
The first question is going to be, who's he? And then when you say a chick 10 years younger than me, 4 a.m. on the beach, pack your shit, man.
You're in trouble.
Take this ring back at minimum.
Don is super pissed off that people are mad that they were on the beach at 4 a.m. and blaming them for it. The brother, Don. Yeah, he's like, fuck that. He said, quote, it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't make them bad people being awake at 4 a.m.
True,
because if it was, then I would be a terrible person.
You're a fucking monster.
I'm a monster.
Finally go to bed when the sun goes down, James?
Someone needs to stop me before I can't be stopped anymore. I can't stop myself is the problem.
You get murdered.
Or do a lot of murdering. He also resents the assumptions that the murder was a result of a drug deal gone bad. Because people are saying that because his brother Casey had
he was arrested for it once.
A history.
Yeah.
Now, the investigators confirmed that the murders do not appear drug-related at all.
Okay.
Now, Don, the brother, wonders whether the murder was actually a result of Casey defending someone else. Mm-hmm. He said he didn't hurt anyone unless he was backed into a corner. Maybe the murderer said something to Brooke.
Okay.
And he said, hey, leave her. That's what he thinks.
All right. That makes more sense because in my head right now, what he's saying there has to be, then where the fuck are the people he was defending? I guess if she's right there.
It's her.
All right.
Yeah. A bunch of Casey's friends said that they didn't even realize because they call him Casey and the news said Frank.
Yeah.
Nims. He said they didn't even fucking know it was him for a while. It was dead. It took a few days of people going, no, it's that guy. And they were like, oh, shit, his name is Frank. They had no idea, essentially. So when the media came looking for a reaction from family members, Don said it was really tough to talk about it. He said if Casey had gone down with a boat fishing, it would have been difficult to accept, but it would have been easier than knowing he was murdered. He said that would have been an act of God, which maybe if there was a typhoon, you could call it that. But other than that, it would be an act of probably somebody's fucking
negligence
or just, being piss poor at their job or laziness or something.
Or a shitty boat that malfunctioned. But there's more than just an act of God.
You probably didn't do all your checks then at that point. You know what I mean? So somebody fucked something up at that point. Now, Dr. Larry here, Brooke's dad, said, my kids were my whole life when we were a family that did everything together. After the death of Brooke here, he said his family had a picnic and he took pieces of Brooke's artwork to give to family members. And he said everyone snagged up her art. Casey's son, Kenny, who was 16 at this point, also lived in Seaside, works on the same fishing boat as Dad did. He's 16 working on a fucking fishing boat already.
Wow.
Hope
he's okay.
Yeah, he said he's bracing well, is what Don said about the kid. He's, quote, bracing up well. He's all right.
Okay.
Those fishermen are pretty weathered. They can take a lot.
Fascinating choice of words, too.
They're pretty leathery. Yeah, he's bracing up well. Some Oregon shit there.
Right?
It's got to be. It's some kind of nautical term for something.
Battening down the hatches and shit.
It's to do with a mast, I believe, in a storm.
Bracing up.
Bracing up good. Yeah. Now, Don said he was impressed when Casey's 12-year-old daughter, Tasha, or Tashe, or however it's pronounced, not trying to disrespect there, I'm just not sure how to say it, who lives with her mother in Oregon City, actually spoke at her father's funeral. So Jack Casey's funeral, she spoke and everything, which is insane for a kid to do.
That's very brave.
And the saddest thing you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
Don said now that he's absorbed it all, he said, I'm going from sad to mad. And he said, I would like to see whoever did this captured. He said, people don't realize that what they do affects a lot of people. It kind of makes you a little bitter. Yeah, if they kill your brother, you're going to be bitter. That's, it's normal.
And you don't want that to happen to anybody else. And if they've done it like this, that's fucking brazen. Just to leave the bodies laying there. These are dangerous people.
It's crazy. So, by the way, yes, it was Bonnie. That is Casey's fiance's name. The Bonnie situation would have been very explosive to use a Pulp Fiction reference here. So this investigation...
Satisfied with Sanka, James.
Yeah, instant. So this investigation here... I get my coffee on the outside. Oh, that's Seinfeld. Never mind. Different thing. That's Jerry being angry when this... Yeah,
and how good my fucking coffee is, Jules.
When they're this is when they're not jerking off the contest. I don't have any coffee. Okay, get my coffee on the outside. Different thing. Okay, so this investigation, the police and the district attorneys said they know a lot of which we're not sharing. They told the press.
Okay.
They said there's a lot of stuff that we've developed that we're not going to comment on. We're restricted by ethics rules. No, they're just keeping the crime scene close to the vest so people can't.
We're trying to solve this.
Exactly. They identify some suspects within 24 hours of discovering the bodies, though.
Wow.
2 different sets of suspects that they go from one to the other, but they spend a good 24 hours on the first set of suspects that we'll talk about here. Yeah. Now, physical evidence that they have, they said there was a surprising amount of physical evidence. There were footprints, so it must not have been windy and it didn't rain in an hour. There were shell casings. And the casings are the big break in the case because they're not ordinary casings. Whoa, they're very specific. They know where they came from. They came from a Calico 9mm.
How'd they know that?
From apparently it's a specific marking shell on the bullet or something. But so this gun, it fires 9mm rounds, but it is a specific gun that has a 50-round clip in it.
Oh, that's why 50 Cent loves it.
It's a Calico street sweeper, they call it, basically. That's the nickname of the damn gun here. So that's what they're looking for. So they know that there's a specific weapon that they're looking for that fired these specific bullets, and it's a specific enough weapon where that might help. You know what I mean? If they could find out where one of those was sold. Now, they do come up with some suspects right away. There's a security camera mounted on top of one of the local restaurants near the beach. When you think security camera now, you're thinking digital and you can enhance. And we're talking grainy, recycled tapes.
Yeah.
Tapes that have been used for 5 years, just being recycled, and they're washed out to shit, basically.
Yeah. When I was robbed at gunpoint in 98, they didn't have cameras. And they said they didn't have cameras because the camera quality or the recording quality was terrible anyway.
It doesn't help. It never helps.
They told the cops.
It's true, though. You see that footage and you're like, a guy came in and did that. You can't see any details or anything like that. And this is one of those ones that doesn't even capture it completely. It does every couple seconds. It grabs a frame.
Oh, I hate those so much.
Yes, really shitty, just to see what's going on quickly.
Right.
So it's almost like a weird flip book if you've ever seen those. So they use these frames along with witnesses who'd seen 2 men walking away from the beach to try to construct what the fuck happened here. The faces, they seem to point to 2 men that they knew as petty criminals around town.
Got it.
So they're like, we know those guys. We know a blonde and a brunette who are both petty criminals who that kind of resembles. So the police go pick these 2 idiots up, basically keep them for about 24 hours of talking to them and trying to figure it out. Then about another 12 hours working through their stories and checking alibis and doing all this type of shit before they realize that these fucking guys didn't do this.
They didn't do anything.
They didn't do this at all. So we've just spent 36 hours
wasted.
Of the first 48, as you know, completely wasted on the wrong suspects, which is not great.
Yeah, we got 12 hours to go. Let's take a break.
This is bad. Yeah, shit. Now we're fucked.
Yeah.
So people in Seaside, though, had seen these. This was on the news and on in newspapers and all that kind of thing. So people said they looked and they said, that's not the guys that you're saying it is. Yeah. People said they knew that these guys' gait and can tell by their walk who it was.
Oh.
And they said, you have got the wrong fucking guys here. You have got completely the wrong guys. The guys you're looking for are not even really criminals. They don't really have much of a criminal record. And they weren't even on the radar, the guys that the people around town were talking about. Okay. They hadn't even thought about those guys. They weren't even on a suspect list or anybody to talk to. These are other people going, that footage looks like these guys.
Huh.
So not only does the footage look like this other pair, this pair of young gentlemen, apparently for the last day and a half have been calling everyone they know and telling them that they murdered 2 people on the beach.
What?
Which is crazy. Several friends of the people who are identified by others as being in that video told investigators that they were contacted by one of them by telephone within a day of the shootings. And during the course of the conversations, this guy said that he and his friend, the other guy that we'll talk about, were going to leave the state.
Why?
They were on their way out because they killed 2 people on the beach.
Yeah.
And when asked by the friend, why did you kill 2 people on the beach? This young gentleman said, quote, for the hell of it.
For nothing?
Nothing. For the hell of it. Just for shits and giggles, for kicks. So that's interesting. And the investigators say that sounds right because this appears to be unprovoked, whatever happened here.
Really?
The investigator said it appears to be a motiveless killing. Most crimes are irrational. Okay. Now, this suspect now placed 2 calls to his friend and coworker, a guy named Eric Manzel, after the murders. And this Manzel told police that during the first call, about 4 hours after the murders, that morning, the guy said, quote, something really big happened.
Yeah.
That's the way he put it. Something really big happened. What?
Big.
I killed 2 people. And he also denied the other guy's involvement. There's a pair here. He said, it was the guy that was with me. He didn't do anything. He told this guy.
Right.
Then the suspect called this friend back again later that afternoon, and the friend Manzel had heard about the bodies found on the beach and said, why'd you do it? And that's when he said, for the hell of it. So he told multiple people for the hell of it, which is very interesting. Now, physical evidence, they sifted through. Basically, they sectioned everything off into 45-foot squares.
Yeah.
And then you could comb it like Spaceballs, basically, and get whatever you want out of it. It's sand. So they said that they identify the weapon as a 9mm Calico semi-automatic handgun. Yeah. That's the weapon. They said that there's footprints and cigarette butts as well that they found around here, which will be something. Now, several people who they talked to who are acquainted with these suspects, who actually called the police and said, I think that's them, they both say that they smoked that brand of cigarettes and own shoes with similar tread patterns to the ones found there.
All right.
Which is interesting. And like I said, the cigarettes were found consistent with the cigarette butts around there, the ones that they smoke. Now, there was some people that basically 3 people who were on the beach. This is in addition to those 2 guys who we talked about before. This is a group of 3 people, said that 2 young men who resembled the suspects approached a brunette and a blonde, approached them on the beach at about 4 a.m. while they had a bonfire going. According to them, these 2 suspects mentioned that their television was not working. That's why they were out walking around, because their TV broke.
Yeah.
And that they made threatening remarks to them. These 2 suspects had made threatening remarks to the 3 of them. So there's 2 guys were walking around menacing people on the beach until this happened. So
our TV's broke. I'm going to kick your ass.
I'm going to kick your ass. That'd be easy. I'm going to shoot you.
Those are the remarks that they made?
They're no, just weird remarks, like threatening remarks, like we'll find out what they were, but it was really weird. We'll go through the whole thing, but it was a real weird back and forth that they had. So police believe that the suspects had no reason to shoot Nims and Goza, and they believe, as we'll find out based on evidence, that they modeled the killings depicted in the film, in the film In Cold Blood, which is the 1967 movie version of the 1965 Truman Capote book In Cold Blood, about the two guys who come in and murder a family.
In a house in Nebraska.
In a house in Nebraska. But the fact that they didn't know that family and everything like that, it's a thrill killing is what they were doing.
And they got nothing out of it.
Exactly. So that's what they think this is probably. Because as we'll find out why in a minute here. But there's also 911 tip. And they say, we know this one suspect has a blonde and the other one has brown hair. And another friend called to say that one of the suspects was known to carry a recently purchased 9mm in his green backpack. Okay. The affidavit also reveals that police had looked at these two as suspects the same morning of the shootings when they started getting calls, but they were wasting their time with other people. A 911 dispatcher received an anonymous call mid-morning identifying the two guys as involved in the killings. The caller said the pair was headed to California or Mexico, which tons of tips come in. And when some young person calls and they go, hey, I know the guys that did it. It's these two dudes and they're on their way to Mexico.
Right.
That sounds like a load of shit, essentially.
It's a very common thing to say, especially on the West Coast.
Absolutely. That's where everybody, we'll just run away to Mexico. Like that works. So let's find out who these suspects are.
Here we go.
Okay. Bradley Charles Price is the first. He's born December 11th, 1974. So he's 22 years old while all this is going on. He grew up in Brookings, Oregon, which is down south there, kind of along the California border. But it's also a harbor fishing kind of a ocean town.
All right.
Now, Price was a star athlete at Brookings High School. He was like a really good athlete, a football player. He also wrote poetry.
Bradchuck is a writer.
Bradley Price, it's very interesting that he writes poetry and plays football. Those are two things don't usually go together.
Yeah.
He also really loved movies, like really loved them, and would watch the same ones over and over and break them down and really loved movies. Was a big into film type of shit. He went to the University of Oregon for about a year before he dropped out.
Right.
So he was going pretty damn well for a while, and then some weird, just didn't, things kind of fell apart for him. Right. People who knew him called him a quiet, outstanding student. He was a starter on the Brookings Harbor High School football team for a while anyway. He graduated in 93 and attended University of Oregon. A reporter for a newspaper who was a classmate of Bradley's while they attended Brookings recalled Price as a quiet but friendly kid and a good student.
Right.
Okay. He said he was a year ahead of me in school, and he always got good grades. The circle of friends he had was small but good students. The Brookings community is shocked it doesn't fit Brad's character.
What went wrong, Brad?
He said many people in Brookings believe Price was forced into it by the other guy and probably has been murdered by now. So what everyone's saying in Brookings is he's probably dead.
The Brad's other guy probably buried somewhere.
Yeah, the other guy probably forced him into it, and then this guy killed Brad because he's a witness, and he's dumped him in the ocean or something along the way from here.
Wow.
So he said that's what everybody in Brookings thinks. Like that's the way it works. According to this guy here, Brad Price's mother, Pat, said violence is totally out of his character, meaning Brad's. In all of his life, he's never even been in a fist fight. I've never heard him raise his voice or shout. I couldn't have asked for a better kid.
Wow.
Okay. His high school football coach, Darryl Erb, said that Price was a, quote, hard worker and had a good attitude.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. He said that Price started as a defensive back as a junior, but lost his starting position following a car accident where he was injured and never got it back.
Oh, shit.
He said, quote, but he maintained a good attitude throughout the season. That shows character.
Yeah. It's my locker room guy.
Yeah, if you can root for the people who took your job and not be bitter about it and sit there and hope they suck, then that shows character. So that's the good of Bradley.
Yeah.
There's also the bad. He claimed to some of his friends that he dropped out of the University of Oregon because he, quote, lost focus and started to do less well in school and was going to drop out and go back, but he wanted to protect his grade point average. So while he was fucking up, he didn't want to do it. He had a 3.14 GPA, and he didn't want to mess that up. He wanted to keep it. He also, though, would admit that he was majoring in English literature, but he also said that he'd been smoking a lot of weed and doing a bunch of acid too.
Oh, and acid,
which will make you lose focus. Hard to focus on anything when you're on acid, unless it's shiny or sparkly. Yeah. So Brad stayed briefly with his older sister in Crescent City after he dropped out of Oregon there. Like I said, a lot of the kids that know him, especially from school, referred to him as the all-American boy. And his mom said, just a sweet kid, never raised his voice, never in a fist fight. Right. He's got a sister. His older sister has a completely different view of him.
We fought like cats and dogs.
Well, his older sister's 30, so she's 8 years older than him. So it wasn't really fighting. It's what came later. Right. Her name is Brandy Eller, and she said that Brad once threatened to kill her 7-month-old son.
What?
I'll kill your baby is a crazy threat.
Outrageous.
And talked to her on several occasions about, quote, shooting someone in the head.
What's happening there?
I don't know. She said that her brother, quote, was being portrayed as some kind of nice all-American kid, and he isn't. I just want people to know that there's a side of him that my mother and other relatives won't talk about. So she's like, he fucking did it. My brother, I know he's a scumbag, which is wild.
My mom won't even say it. She loves him too much, but I fucking hate that guy.
I hate him. He's a dick. Yeah. She said she was shocked. She sounds like Jennifer Grey and Ferris Bueller at this point. Like she's like, that's what she sounds like. But I don't think Ferris Bueller threatened to kill Jennifer Grey's baby. That would have been a totally different thing. You know, if that would have been odd, a real strange twist to that story.
That's in Ferris Gray's Day Off.
Ferris Gray's Day Off, yeah. Oh, man. So she said she was shocked that someone she was related to could be attached to such a crime, but that she could believe Brad was involved. Oh, I buy it, she said.
She believes it.
She said she believes that the district attorney is right when he called the murders thrill killings. She said, I know some people think he might have been forced into doing it, but I don't think so. Oh. She's just throwing him right under the bus and then getting in, starting it up, and going back and forth, just running him over.
Thrill killing. I think my brother's good for it.
I think he could do it. I really do. She said, I think he was willing all the way. He mentioned to me before, wondering what it would be like to, quote, shoot someone in the head. I can believe he did it just to see what it was like. I'm talking now because people must know the truth about Brad. He was a real good kid in high school, but he changed a lot once he went away to college. He was into drugs, doing them and selling them.
Oh, how about that?
So she blows up the entire narrative that his family put out of like, no, not our guy.
Exactly our guy.
She said she hasn't talked to Brad in more than 2 years, not since he threatened to kill her then 7-month-old son. He said he told me, he, meaning the son, would be an easy target and he just wanted to do it. Yeah, 7-month-olds, they won't put up much of a fight. I'll tell you that much. You could just kill them. They'll think you're giving them Cheerios. They have no idea. They don't know the difference. She said, I kicked him out and haven't seen him since. Okay. Now, his stepmother, Sue, was quoted by saying, Brad was mean to her and mean to me and my daughters, she said. She also referred to him as a daddy's boy, which is very funny. There's a lot of resentment. Like, they resent that the father paid attention to him, and the sister seems to resent it too. I mean, later on, it makes sense that she would not like him, but it's very funny. Daddy's boy. The stepmother could not be reached for comment. However, the sister said that her father would do all he could to protect Brad. So would family members in Brookings.
Good Lord.
She's saying that. She said, my mom, grandmother, and other relatives know Brad wasn't the perfect kid they all claim he was, but they won't admit it. They won't talk about it. I think they would go to great lengths to hide him. They're even saying they're aiding and abetting now. Wow. Mom always believed... Great lengths. Mom always believed he was perfect, but he isn't.
And she is a ride or die for this complete fuck-up.
The sister went on to say that she once had a photograph of Brad with her 2 sons, Holden and Brandon, both of them 9 years old. Yeah. Quote, he had his arms around them, holding his finger formed like a gun pointed at their head. Not a rabbit ears.
Yeah.
A gun to a child's head. When I got mad at him, I tore him out of the picture. I wish I still had that photo.
Of her, that's Brad did that?
Brad did that, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently. Now, a little more from his loving sister.
Yeah.
With her as your PR, as your publicist, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, she should be a district attorney, this broad. Like, I'm ready to convict him after this opening statement. Sounds like a bad guy.
My brother.
Fuck him. She added that when he was young, Brad would throw a tantrum if he didn't get his way. He was bang his head onto the floor until he got his way, quote unquote. Quote, he would break things and throw things around the house. She said he did this till he was 10 or 11. She also claimed that he hit her and kicked her until he was about 12 or 13. After that, however, when he began high school, they started to get along well. Maybe because he took his energy out on football. I'm not sure. That's the type of kid that football's good for.
Well, any sport, really. Something to just focus. Fuck.
But he needs to bang into things. He's one of those kids.
Yeah.
He needs one of those slam bang kids, they call him. Like, he's got to be like, and hit that, and that's how he gets his energy out.
Wrestle football.
So, wrestling will take it out of you. Just the fucking losing weight will take it out of you. Kid'll be like, I just dropped 8 pounds to make weight. I was in the sauna. I don't feel good.
In a bottle and you don't even dip.
Yeah, disgusting. But then he became, quote, verbally abusive. His stepfather once told me, Brad isn't happy unless he's hurting someone or causing them pain.
The stepdad said that?
His stepdad said that. I can see him doing something violent like this, not because he was mad, but just to see what it would be like. So a ringing endorsement from his older sister, just a ringing endorsement there.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Now, his only scrapes with the law for Bradley Price, he's 22, and his only problems with the law are littering. He got a littering ticket.
Right.
And underage possession of alcohol. Who cares?
Yeah. How much littering you got to do to get a ticket for it?
It depends. If you're a teenager and they want to break your balls or something, they can. And who knows if he mouthed off? The guy said, "Pick that up," and he said, "I'm not picking. I don't know what you're talking about." And he said, "Okay, here's your ticket." Yeah. Who knows? But underage possession of alcohol, who gives a shit? We all could have got caught for that 1 trillion times. Who cares? They said he drifted up the coast to the north coast to Seaside, which is where it started to go wrong for him once he got here. According to his sister again, his PR agent here, he moved to Seaside to be closer to his older brother, who lives in Seaside and Astoria as 2 places. He said he spent a short time with me before I kicked him out. He really changed after he went off to college. I've been told he was selling drugs and doing a lot of drugs in Seaside. Okay. That's what she said. He is also described by a member of the police department as, this is a real succinct way to put it, quote, an estranged college kid that sat around and drank Robitussin to get high. Yikes. That is very specific.
College student is a terrible phrase.
Estranged. Like college broke up with him. Yeah. Not even or like worse,
he broke up with college.
Yeah, it was like abandoned him. Yeah. An estranged college kid that drank Robitussin. And the one-word summary that a lot of people have for him, including the cops based on his whole little profile here, is follower. Oh. Brad's a follower, period. He is not a leader. He is a follower. And
lost and follower. That's not good.
And a follower. And so he needs someone to follow. And in February 96, he found a friend to follow.
Oh, boy.
And this is pathetic because this kid's 19. He's 3 years younger than him.
Right.
When you're 22, you don't follow someone who's not even allowed to buy alcohol. Like,
right. You don't.
Get the fuck out of here.
What do you follow them to? The arcade? Because they can't get drunk.
You can't buy scratchers. I'm not following you. This is crazy. So this friend he meets is Jesse Carl McAllister. He's born December 30th, 1977, so he's 19. Now, he's described, he's a real interesting guy here. A friend of his said he did well in school. He never really got in fights, and he always did his work. He attended Seaside High School as a freshman. No extracurriculars or involvement. He just went to class. Then he went to Bridges, a school called Bridges, in 93, 94, following his freshman year at Seaside High School. Bridges was a 5-district alternative education program for kids who fucked up in regular school.
You knew that's what it was called. You knew that's what it was called, Bridges.
Yeah, you know the B school.
Yeah.
Around
this bridges the dipshits into regular working environment.
Where I grew up, it was BOCES. Yeah. That's what it was, BOCES, and it was basically all the kids who got kicked out or dropped out or really wanted to be welders. That's where they went. They did like vocational shit.
Was it an acronym?
I think it was.
Yeah. I forget what ours was, but it was an acronym. And then we had Polaris that was for the pregnant girls at night.
For the pregnant, It's an acronym of things that won't happen. Like it's an acronym of like helping make better. No, it's just a storage. It's a storage place for 16-year-olds who smoke cigarettes in class. That's what it is basically.
This was a church that kids would go during the morning, Monday through Friday, when they don't have church services. It was just a way for the church to get paid for a building that was unoccupied at the moment.
Use their space. The kids get somewhere to go without getting arrested. It's all great.
And perhaps because they're here Monday through Friday, maybe they'll come back on Sunday and throw some money in the pond.
Yeah, right. Oh, so McAllister completed the equivalent of his sophomore year at Bridges. Yeah. Then he returned to school a little later, but didn't get any credits or anything. So didn't really do anything. School officials will not comment on, anything he did, but people do not believe that he earned either a high school diploma or a GED, McAllister. So after Bridges is when he had his first brush with the law here.
Sure.
He spent time in the Clatsop County Jail after beating up 3 people on the beach in Seaside.
Oh.
Beating up 3 people.
A brawl on the beach is fucking nuts.
But him versus 3 people. Right. I don't know who he beat up, but he beat up 3 people. Oh, wow. Someone who knows him said, quote, "He told me he liked jail. He said he enjoyed it." Okay.
Enjoyed it.
Wow. So he did that. Now, his personality, they said, during the jail sentence intensified. One of his friends said, quote, "He was like a real power tripper." Said he had a reputation for fighting, but he would also kick people out of his apartment at the drop of a hat. He's just his temper was just wild. Just hair trigger on him. This friend said, "I'd sit there with the guys and they would talk about beating people up all the time. He was constantly getting in fights." When this friend would ask them to stop talking about fighting. She said, quote, "They couldn't do it. They would say, 'You just don't understand the testosterone.'"
Is that what it is?
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, that's what it is.
He's a bad boy, James.
Yeah, but there's an energy you have when you're 19 about fighting. That's a thing that happens when you're 19. It's especially dependent on where you're from, your
it's
background.
Frustrating because you're an adult. You can die for a country at that time, but you can't have a swig of beer. So there's like a frustration level of like unsure where you fit in.
It goes from pretty much 15 to,
But once you're 19 and you're done with high school, if you're not going to college, it's like, then I'm an adult. If I'm not in school, then I'm a big boy.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, like this fighting for no reason, this goes from 15 and ends sometimes never.
Yeah, sometimes there's a 50-year-old dude that just loves to fight.
Just loves to fight, or he beats up his wife, or he does whatever. That it can go on forever. Sometimes it burns out in your early 20s, and sometimes it never stops. It's crazy. So now there's some people that they don't like him and have some things to say about him too. The local police sergeant called him a violent kind of gangbanging type of kid who was not afraid of anything.
Gangbanging?
gangbanging. I don't know what kind of gangs they have in Seaside, Oregon, among 7,000 people.
What's his set?
I am not sure. The Manatees, I believe he's a part of.
The folk.
Very exclusive.
Yeah.
So he already had a felony on his record, which is burglary in the first degree, and which is interesting. So now he's a 19-year-old convicted felon as well. And they said that he's got, which hang on to that for a second because that'll come up. He's got a temper as well. Like I said, this temper is wild. They said he's got a temper and mood swings that he has a hard time disguising, basically. They said basically he would fight all the time.
Huh.
He also spent time in jail for assault.
Okay.
Another different time is besides the 3 people on the beach. A school friend of his talking about the murder said, quote, "I kind of think he did it." Hey, thanks. Appreciate that.
I kind of think he did it.
Yeah, this young lady says this. They went to school for a couple years. She wished to remain anonymous for her own safety.
Yeah.
Other friends say that while McAllister started out amicably with people, something changed along the way. One friend named Patrick Whistler said, "We were close when we were younger in 1st through 5th grade." Well, everyone's different in 5th grade.
Everyone's close 1st through 5th grade.
Yeah, everyone's friends. When you have a birthday party in 1st grade, you give an invitation to everyone in the class.
The whole fucking class.
The whole class. You don't discriminate. He remembers the 2 of them playing in a fort on McAllister's relative's property after school. However, when McAllister moved to Washington with his mother after finishing grade school, they lost touch. Yeah. He said he saw McAllister hitchhiking through Seaside around Christmas of last year.
Oh.
He said it was the first time he'd seen them since their freshman year of high school. He said, "We talked a bit," and he said that was the last he heard of him, quote, "until the news." You know, that he's wanted.
This new thing.
As a murder suspect.
Yeah.
One of the friends said, I mean, he did have a preoccupation with violence, but she said he always treated his friends well and, quote, he was a super nice guy.
Okay, well.
Wow. That's another thing with women is they can see some guy do some crazy shit and then go, he's a super nice guy. He was nice to me.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I just watched him curb stomp an old man, but there's something to me. He's just so sweet. When I look in his eyes, I can see what's really in there. And that's
pretty nice guy.
Sweetness and niceness. Yeah. His boss here, McAllister, worked at a bunch of seaside restaurants as a cook.
Oh?
Just like Brooke did.
Yeah.
He worked at Moby's Seafood and Chowder House.
Oh.
Owned, of course, by the bald-headed techno guy, Moby.
Yeah.
No, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Come get my chowder. In downtown Seaside.
Yeah.
His boss, Rocco. Hey, Rocco, tell me about it over here.
Yeah.
Rocco said, he was a hard worker, always on time, this guy.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what a hard worker is, James.
Always on time.
Punctual.
Well, when you run a restaurant, that is a hard worker.
Well, yeah, but
shows up for their shift is like, oh my God.
That's the minimum.
He's like a monk, basically. Like he works. That's really that's so minimum. He showed up for most of his shifts. My God, stalwart.
The vast majority of people show up for their shifts and then just spend that 8 hours trying to not do their shift, right?
Not doing it, dicking off. Well, in the restaurant industry, even that, half the time, you don't know when they're even showing up. In the kitchen, they have to show up or they get fired.
Yeah,
but
right.
Waiters, there's always someone else you can call in. It's a different story.
As a cook, your shift, we can tell when you're not doing your job.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, someone's looking in the window. Hey, in there.
Hey, guys.
What the fuck's my food?
I got a table bitching.
Table 8 are assholes, and I'm starting to not blame them.
They've been here 2 hours, you guys. Can we feed them?
Oh, God. He said, though, a sound work ethic was not enough for this guy, for McAllister. Yeah. He said he was subject to mood changes, temperamental. When he was mad, he let you know it.
Oh.
So that's how it goes. Yeah, so he's got a temper, is what it is. He said sometimes he would simmer. One day, McAllister was brooding over a situation with his girlfriend, so Rocco told the other employees, he looks mad enough to kill. when that happened. He said later on, quote, I wasn't shocked about the murders. I kept a guy employed who I'm pretty sure was capable of murder. I just kept him anyway. That's the restaurant business.
So it's fucking baffling. There's not been one person apart from a man's mom who has said, I don't think they could have. Everybody's just like, yeah, I could see it.
I could see it. That's exactly how Rocco probably said it. I could see it.
I could see it.
But that's how.
I do like that he uses a cooking term for I saw him simmering one day, and then he was boiling.
He didn't use that term. The newspaper did.
Oh,
but
okay.
He should have used it. That would have been great.
Funny.
So this is fucking in the restaurant business too. If a guy can get food out on time, if he doesn't murder in the restaurant, we're good, because it's hard to get a guy who shows up every day and does what he's supposed to do.
Too funny.
It's too hard. So McAllister, like we said, he's the one who called all his friends and told them what he did. He's the guy making phone calls, which is amazing. The only aspect of his potential involvement in the crime that surprises Rocco, his boss, was his subsequent behavior. He said, quote, sounds like he was almost proud of what he did, calling people, telling people. He said that I'm getting more and more astonished at his audacity. More and more.
It is crazy that he just bragged about it like he's proud of it. But then why are you running if you're so proud?
Well, yeah, proud of it and wanting to be in prison forever is two different things. I thought you liked jail.
So, yeah.
Thought you liked jail.
Yeah.
Then I like this. This is amazing. Rocco, he's going to break down philosophical shit here for us. I love this here. He said that the killings might have been for his sense of self-worth. He said he might have been lacking in a guy named Rocco telling you about your self-worth. He said he was always known for his intimidation.
Yeah.
He said he got older, though, started hanging out with older people, and he discovered that he couldn't intimidate as easily. So maybe he needed this. Yeah, that's what happens.
Perhaps he's got to prove himself to these older folks.
Yeah, he said he may have decided, quote, maybe if I kill a couple people, they'll be scared of me. I guess his dark side was darker than most. Jesus, Rocco.
So it's a big leap, Rocco, of proving your self-worth to others.
Well, yeah, he really was like, let me break it down psychologically. I took a year of psychology in community college. 1 year, Clatsop, but it's all right. I know things.
Maybe we find out where Rocco's from, because he's a fucking horrifying man.
Fucking Rocco. His other friend, again, this is the guy he went to school with. He says that, yes, McAllister probably possessed a brooding aspect to his personality. He isn't completely convinced that he had a hand in murdering two people. He said, and yet he's not so sure. He can't tell.
I could see it.
I could see it. That's what I could see what it was right there. He said, quote, I hate to stereotype someone, but it's like he was like that. What do you hate to then? He said if he wanted something bad enough, he could work hard enough to get it. But then you could also see the other side of him where it was like, I don't care. He said when he learned that McAllister was a suspect in the double homicide, he said it rattled him. He said, quote, it was bad.
Yeah.
Questions popped into my head. Was it for money? Was it for drugs? Was he on drugs? Though he said he hasn't. He said, I won't say that he did it for sure because he hasn't been convicted of anything. Quote, innocent until proven, he says.
That's what it says, yeah. But there's a lot of people that could see it.
They could see it. Now, just like Price, there's a lot of other people who say he's a fucking angel.
No.
What are you talking about? The guy is an angel. Yes, absolutely. His cousin here, Katie Larson, said that, quote, I think it's completely wrong. There is no way he did it. I think the only way he did it was for self-defense. Now, that's what they said, despite the fact that he's called like a bunch of people to brag about it. Yeah. And it's pretty sure they did it.
There's no weapon on them. How do you self-defense shoot two people in the fucking forehead?
Exactly. Well, they could have taken the weapon and thrown it in the sea or, a seagull could have came and taken it for later. You never know.
They'll eat anything. It's people in the forehead.
In the forehead. Now, a little bit about Brad and Jesse here. Now that we have them set up as these two characters. Brad, the kind of quasi all-American boy football player, and McAllister, the dropout alternative school guy, and all that kind of thing. So June of 1996, Brad and Jesse move into an apartment together. Okay. Brad is the older one. Jesse is the younger, more aggressive one.
Got an apartment together.
Apartment in Seaside together. Okay. By summer of 97, they were still living together. So they lived together for a year at this point. Everybody said McAllister is an aggressor in every situation. Brad later on will say his personality was really violent and he was not terribly conscious of the world around him. Oh. That's Brad talking. He had been in several fights in Brad's presence. McAllister had told Price and other people that he wanted to be a hitman at some point. Oh. And according to the later testimony, McAllister had been harboring a desire to kill another person for about 2 years. Really into it. Really wanted to kill somebody. We've had this happen about 15 times in this show where someone thought hitman was a job that you
crazy.
Apply for.
Yeah.
Not something you kind of fall into in some weird way because you're in the mafia.
They didn't come to the job fair anywhere, guys.
They really do. I looked for them in high school. I saw the Marine guys bothering everybody. I saw these people that. I never saw, a couple of guineas in suits going, I mean, no benefits, but
there's money in it.
Nice suits, too. I mean, come on. We got the best food. I'll tell you what.
Hey, money, food, and respect.
Don't listen to this fucking Marine guy tell, hey, you guys got bullshit food. Come on, what are you talking about? This guy, they ain't going to give you nothing. We got the freshest fucking bread sandwiches every goddamn day. You're going to love
paid terribly to kill.
These mush. They got fucking mush, these guys. And they got to kill. They don't even fucking know who they are, these fucking guys. What are you kidding me? You got to go over there, fly over here, eat shitty food, kill people.
We'll show you who he is. We'll walk you right up to him.
Get the fuck out of here. No way. No way. So anyway, that's what's happening there. Now, July of 1997, McAllister was still employed as a cook at Moby's Seafood and Chowder House, and Brad Price was a clerk at Video Warehouse. Video store guy. He works at the video store. Yeah. Now, speaking of movies, they have a movie that they love, and that is In Cold Blood.
It is.
From 67. They made a remake in like 2000 something, but this is the 1967 version of this story.
Was it called In Cold Blood, the remake,
it's called
or was it just
In Cold
Capote?
Yeah, in Cold Blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they made In Cold Blood and then In Cold Blood again. So yeah, this is VHS tape they're renting over and over again. 1967. I can't remember if that one's in color or not.
I think it's black and white.
I honestly can't remember. I saw it in when I was 10 or something. I don't remember, but I can't remember if it's black and white. 67, most of the films were color by then, but there was still a couple in black and white. But the book is awesome, and there's been a lot of killers, like serial killers who this is the first thing that got them hard.
Really?
Was In Cold Blood. Yeah.
Really?
BTK read it 100 times. He loved it.
Really?
Loved it because it was also in his area. Yeah.
I didn't see the movie. I don't think I may have, but I for sure didn't read the book. But I know the story, and the story itself is the most horrifying fucking thing. How that could make you.
They love it. That's what gets them off.
Wow.
That's how you know how your brain works.
Yeah.
If you read that and you're not, I mean, you can be horrified. You could be interested. You could even be titillated, but you got to be a little horrified. That's the thing. If you're not horrified.
Terrifying.
If you're like, more, you got a problem.
And it's one of the first ones that was like nationwide known of like more or less a boogeyman that killed the whole fucking family, right?
Yeah, no, there was Henry Lee Lucas before that. There was a whole bunch. There was tons of them. It happened all the time. But
like in the fucking heartland like that where nothing happens?
He just wrote a really good book about it is why. Because he's a good writer and wrote a book. And that's what gave it such run is because it's a good book. Otherwise, it would have just been by the wayside. No one would know shit about it. The story, by the way, is Dick Hickok and Perry Smith were two drifters. In November of 59, they broke into a Kansas farmhouse. They were looking for they heard there was a safe full of money there that was not there. So instead of getting money, they just murdered all four members of a family for no reason. And then went where, Jimmy?
Where did they
Mexico.
Go? Was it to Mexico?
To Mexico, yeah.
How about it?
According to records, McAllister and Price, Brad and Jesse, or Jesse and Brad in that case, respectively, rented in cold blood at least 4 times in the month before the murders. Kept renting it. So that's interesting. 4 times in less than 30 days renting the same movie. They were into it. The other thing is the gun. McAllister had wanted a gun for a long time. He was trying to get a gun. Now, he's a 19-year-old felon, so he can't. He's under 21, and he's a felon. So strike 1, strike 2. No way to get through it. But what he did is, about 2 weeks before the murders, he had Brad purchase the weapon for him, who's not a felon and who's over 21. Yeah. He got a Calico 9mm at a store.
Expensive weapon, isn't it?
It is. Yep, it's, 50-round magazine, all that kind of thing. I'll just read. This is from the newspaper. Investigators from the Clatsop County Major Crime Team believe a Calico 9mm was used to murder Frank Nims and Gabriella Goza. The firearm holds 50 rounds per magazine, according to Sky of Skies Gunsmithing in Astoria. The pistols, which are awkward and tend to jam, weigh about 2¼ pounds when empty and 3¼ pounds when loaded. The 16-inch semi-automatic pistol has a 6-inch barrel, and many come with a collapsible gun stock.
Oh, so it's like a
Tech 9. Exactly. Yeah. It's a Tech 9, which don't work for shit either.
They're the worst.
They're the worst. Every rap song, you could tell they never used one because they would be like, this Tech 9 sucks and I had to throw it in the gutter because it broke. That would be what they'd be fucking singing about.
I had one. It's in a Tech 9. That's why they call it Tech.
Like the water guns. They made water gun people made real guns. I thought that was crazy. Remember those in the 80s? The greatest water guns ever.
It's crazy. It has this long-ass mag for no reason, because every 3 rounds you're clearing the chamber. It's the biggest piece of shit ever.
Those Entertech water guns ruled the world till Super Soaker arrived. They were battery operated. Remember, you had to put batteries in them, and they were like, they'd be like automatic water guns. You just hold the trigger down. It was like an Uzi and shit. And then Super Soaker came out, and it was like, okay, well, it's not automatic, but holy fuck.
Well, maybe they got water inside.
Knock a child over with this.
Maybe they got water inside all these pistols. And that's why they don't fucking work anymore.
Maybe that. So they said others are equipped with a fixed wooden butt. So this is a very specific gun.
Yeah.
Now the seller of the gun said that this is amazing. He knew that this was a sham happening before him.
Oh.
Brad didn't come in by himself and buy the gun and all that. He said, quote, words were said that it was clearly McAllister's gun.
Oh,
McAllister could not own a gun because he was on probation or something. And he was underage and a felon. But he said, obviously, this guy was buying a gun for his friend, but he let him do it anyway.
Wow.
Good job, asshole. So July 11th, 3 days before the murders here, they need some ammo. They need ammo. McAllister asks Price to buy ammunition for the gun. And he does. So he buys him the ammo. And then the two of them go to a local cemetery to test fire this gun.
They're firing guns in a fucking cemetery.
Which is the dumbest place because there's no quieter place.
Right.
Than that. Why would you go to the quietest place and fire guns off?
It is interesting how much room that land has and how there's never anybody there. So I guess but it's always on the perimeter. Populated with something.
That's why kids go there to drink and fuck.
Yeah.
There's nobody there. It's a huge area where no one is.
I can't
I'm not fucking in a cemetery. No. I'm not hanging out in a cemetery. That's just weird. But some people love that shit. Whatever. So, so he buys him the gun, and then that's what they did. They took it to a cemetery, and they test fired it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, then after that, they have a gun. They have the bullets. They've been watching fucking In Cold Blood over and over. Yeah. So they basically were like, well, let's find somebody to shoot.
Here we go.
In the weeks leading up to this, what they did is they would cruise beach areas in McAllister's car, which is a 77 Impala, which is a huge, giant shitbox. Yeah.
It's a
picture.
bad car.
It's bad. It's a big boat, and it's a shitty one in bad shape. It's a crappy car.
It's got to be close to the end of that run until they started remaking them in like fucking 02 or whatever.
There's something like that. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, that's the end of that shit. It's a bad car. So they drove the coast looking for people. And that's what they did. It's very fucking interesting. One of McAllister's friends said, I didn't really think that he would go to such an extreme.
Right.
And he was talking about going around looking for people to shoot, but I didn't think he'd actually do it.
Yeah.
They said that this one friend, a young lady, said based on what she heard from others who saw McAllister that night, that McAllister and Price may have been hanging out with Nims and Goza that night.
Oh.
She said, I think they were drinking together. Okay. But prior to that night, McAllister's not a big drinker, she said. Conditions of his release from jail and probation included a ban on drinking and smoking weed. So he hadn't been drinking that much. Now, she said she wasn't aware that McAllister knew either Nims or Goza, but said that he probably saw Goza regularly because they worked directly across the fucking street from each other. These restaurants are right here. The pizza place and Moby's are right across the street from each other.
Yeah.
They get off work at the same time, probably go to the same groups and gatherings of people, and probably have run into each other before.
They're aware of each other, likely.
Has to be. So 2 days after the murders, police go to their apartment and knock on the door.
They share.
McAllister and Price. Right. They're going to kick the door down here. 359 9th Avenue, number 5. And they're not there. They're gone. Pretty much everything is gone in the apartment, except a few things. They find a non-functioning television at the residence. Remember, he said his TV didn't work.
Right.
A non-functioning television. They find shoe boxes, which have footwear with treads similar to the ones that they found at the crime scene, also in the apartment. And they said a vehicle belonging to Brad Price remained parked outside. McAllister's 77 Impala shitbox was missing, and the apartment appeared to have been hastily abandoned.
Yeah.
Just like clothes taken. The
77 is the best car of the two.
That's the reliable one.
Yeah. Who keeps the shoe boxes back then?
I don't know.
If it's not a collectible shoe, you don't keep the shoe box.
Not getting some new Jordans or something. Right. So now they have to go on a manhunt. Now the FBI and the local police believe, because that later on the FBI will be involved, they believe they're traveling in the 77 gray Chevy Impala, Oregon license plate VGL036.
All right.
So McAllister and Price are believed to be still carrying the murder weapon. So, hey, approach with caution.
Yeah.
One of the cops said, they are very dangerous. We have every reason to believe that Mr. McAllister and Mr. Price still have this weapon with them.
Frightening. A 50-round magazine in this thing.
Jesus. So the FBI is involved, and because they appeared to have left the state. At least, have reason to believe they've left the state. So that's when the FBI gets involved. The FBI spokesman said, we've offered our assistance, and, it's a large-scale thing, and if we have to look all over the country, the Clatsop County police can't find them. So, they said, we've obtained a federal warrant for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. There are rumors that they're in Idaho, and there's also rumors that that's because that's where his dad, Brad Price's dad, is, the one that will do anything for him, daddy's boy. Yeah. And then either that or California or Mexico. Those are the 3 rumors going around that friends have said. There's a bank teller that says they came driving the getaway car through the bank in Newport with Price driving.
California?
In Newport, Oregon.
Oregon, got it.
Yeah. So they were able to flee, basically, and this is what the prosecutor said, the DA said they were able to flee because they had a 36-hour head start.
Yeah.
We looked at the wrong guys for 36 hours.
Investigating somebody else, right.
Said if we looked right at them, we could have caught them before they left while they were still making phone calls. But instead, we brought 2 other guys in there and got nothing. He said that the investigators suspected Price and McAllister later on. He said that was when we suspected them. We did not have arrest warrants for them either when we first suspected them. They had to wait until some other people from the beach picked them out of lineups photo lineups. That's how they were able to get the warrant, basically. So they said they've received several tips, and they're checking out other shit. Right. Main thing to think here, though, this is the important part, everybody. The beach is still safe. Go down there and spend all your money that you can, by the way.
Regardless of how many bodies are on it, that beach is so safe.
It's safe. Rosemary Baker Monaghan, who's the president of the Seaside City Council, said, I walk the prom regularly. I'm fine.
Yeah.
She said she points out that there were 19 killings in the Portland metro area recently, while the Seaside shootings constitute the first murder case in 4 years. So it's much safer here.
Yeah.
You know. So he said, although the recent crime hasn't derailed her routine, she recommends everyone take precautions when you walk, regardless of time of day or location. Yeah. This isn't a beach thing or a seaside thing. This is just in general. She said, you have to be aware of your personal surroundings. Society as a whole is less safe than when I was a kid. Okay. Beyond the double homicide's local impact, perceived impact on safety, she said she's concerned about the event's indication of the state of society in general. She said, if this sort of tragedy is happening in Seaside, it's saying to me that it's everywhere. You know, because if I can see it, that must mean everybody else sees it too.
This will probably be the last place it turns up. So when it does turn up here, just stay, because everywhere else is bedlam.
It's all fucked out anyway.
So you're going to lose your mind when you see what else is happening.
We'll all die together is what I'm saying. You come over here, let's die together.
We'll just stay here and die.
Yep. A former employee of the Washington prison system here, Roger Maxwell, who lives there, said, quote, the unfortunate part is that kind of behavior is hitting Seaside. We're used to having it in Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia area where I live. Every day there's a homicide. No, there's not. Sometimes things are kind of catching. There's not. I hate that. There's not 365 homicides in a fucking year in Seattle at any time ever. Baltimore didn't even fucking hit that in the 80s. Like, it's not happening. There was higher ones with bigger cities. Yeah. It's not a big enough city to have those kind of numbers generally. No. So they said, Maxwell said he made the trip here multiple times each summer for more than 30 years, and he's not going to be swayed by some double homicide.
All right.
I'm not happening. He said, this is a nice resort area. You're not keeping me away. That's right. He said, I know nothing about the victims, but it's damn sad that somebody who may just be out enjoying life is going to get shot in the head. Right. They said, while adult crime has decreased in general over the last few years, yes, in the 90s, crime went down a lot. Youth crime is up, said, referring to these statistics. If there's something we can do to interrupt this trend, that is something that the council maybe need to think of as a policy-making body. I'm not sure what we could do, but I want to start the dialogue. We need to change this attitude that life isn't special. Those children obviously didn't have an appreciation of how dear those lives were. Mm-hmm. The other guy said he believed that the murderers probably have been dealt a poor hand. This is the prison system guy who worked in prison. He said the suspects probably had a lousy life up to this point. He said, you know, it's just the way it is. That's just a fact, probably.
Yeah. Based on their own decisions, too, though, which is wild.
Totally. So they said that one guy here estimates that city of Seaside and Clatsop County will have spent more than $1 million on this case by the time it's all said and done. Huh. And they said, we're going to go on as a society that's falling apart by dealing with the problem after the fact. He said, we need to have prevention. Teachers can identify these children in kindergarten and first grade.
Can they?
Yeah, but we can't kill them. What do we do? Put them down? That's the problem. Unless you take them out of their environment and put them in a much better one and then give them therapy for 15 years, they're fucked by then if they're fucked by then.
And they can't, because one of them was a star football player and the other one was close with everybody, kindergarten to fifth grade. So
yep.
Those teachers would have missed these two for sure.
That's absolutely right. They said that, this person said McAllister is a young man who is definitely headed in the wrong direction. He's just shot 2 people in the head, so probably. They said, we're more than happy to give him that direction now. No expense will be spared in giving him that direction. We'll somehow feel better if we put Jesse McAllister in prison. Now, this I got to agree with. You won't spend a fucking penny on these kids when they're little. Nobody will. Nobody will. There's no fucking... They've gotten rid of all these programs that you think go on. They're all gone. It's to the bone.
And worse. They're shaving
And worse.
More. Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
No.
But then, if they kill somebody, we will spend $10 million on this trial to put them in prison, as we should put murderers in prison. But where the fuck was that? We could save so much fucking money if we just put a little bit of it here, but then people go, but that's my tax dollars. They don't realize that their tax dollars are being spent later anyway. But that's for like vengeance, and they feel good about that. A kid reading, that's boring. A murderer getting the death penalty, that I want to see. That's what people do.
90% of prison stay people that stay long periods of time. 90% didn't graduate high school. That
extended
is
stay.
What is it?
The extended stay class.
The stay prisoners.
The residence inn staff. Yeah, the residence inn members. Yeah,
90% didn't graduate high school. That's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
It's not a coincidence.
That's what I mean. Go through, ask everybody in prison, find out their lives. It's not a bunch of people who were on the fucking dean's list and then just snapped. That's not really what's in there for the most part. So that council person said, I don't know what the answer is, but think the dialogue needs to start. Everyone has to participate in the solution. She said, you can't legislate the solution. Parents and schools and youth agencies have to get involved. So there's rewards here. Mm-hmm. By the way, weeks go by. They don't find these kids. We're talking by August 21st. Yeah. Now they're trying to get rewards. A month and a week have gone by. These two are like jerk-offs. This is not, like, they should be able to catch these idiots.
They're really good at eluding police, evidently.
They really are. Yeah. And apparently, too, they can't get a reward that they want. They have a goal of a $25,000 reward, and they've only raised $12,500.
How hard is it to find a 77 Impala, too? How many of those are on the road in 1997?
Not a lot. Not only that, if you're one of these local businesses, wouldn't it behoove you to have these two people that are scaring the shit out of the tourists caught? I'd be ponying up for this fucking reward.
I mean, you could probably start at every auto parts store between there and everywhere in the country.
They're going to need to, they're definitely going to need a couple of things. Distributor cap over here and fucking spark plugs over here. So Stop the Violence, a reward fund designed to encourage tips that could lead to catching these two fucking idiots, has stalled at $12,500.
Shit.
So they said our goal is $25,000. One local business is hoping to boost the fund by hosting hoops for help. Yeah. So they'll have a bunch of people playing basketball, and they said we'll sell hot dogs and soda for $1.50 with all the proceeds going to the fund. We'll also have a basketball hoop up, and if someone wants to, they can take 5 shots at the basket. If they make it, we'll give them tokens for it. Like for the grocery store, I guess, or something. So, interesting. So that's what's going on. Then the next week, August 28th, they got it up to $13,000.
Wow.
They said we netted $700 in the last week. So they have $13,200 raised.
That's a lot of money too back then.
Yeah. They made $500 on hoops for help or whatever it was. So that's nice. They said that the event brought in $358, another thing they did here. And they said, I wish we had better news for the victims' families, but, here's the money. You do what you can do.
Hoops for help. How about money for murderers? Let's catch.
Yeah.
There's 2 people dead on the beach.
Cash for killers.
Yeah.
Cash for killers. Got a ring to it. The K's and everything. The K sound.
Yeah.
Then they said, they said the goal is to raise $25,000. Now they got up to between $14,000 and $15,000 by mid-September.
Yeah.
So it's very slowly getting toward $25,000. If they're on the lam another year, they might raise the money.
We might get there. Yeah.
Might get there. Now about the reward, the police chief said the only way they'll get it is if I have McAllister and Price in my hands. Yeah. So it's I got to be caught here. They have to be caught. A local business is taking the chamber's urgings to heart by putting together a fundraiser for more money here to do this. So they're trying their best. August 14th, 1997, though, there's an article here that says manhunt reaches lull.
It's a bad word.
Lull. Yeah, they have nothing. They're both charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder.
Wow.
And they've been missing a month now. So, yeah, one of the police department people said, we have received no leads, no phone calls, nothing. We have no idea where they are. No one. And the FBI is looking for them, too. No one can find them. The family hires a private investigator.
Wow.
I believe Frank Nims's family hired a private investigator. And he said he hopes that, that the police will pool resources with him. That's all. He's like, I'm trying myself. They have a couple of leads. One of them was one of the mothers came forward and said she believed her son had headed for Idaho where his father lived. That's Brad Price's mother. Yeah. Investigators had no way to know if they drove, flew, stepped on a cruise.
Yeah.
Pre 9/11, you didn't need could have done anything. You could slip by the airport with a fake name. You can have a shitty fake ID. They don't care.
You can't go to Idaho, though, when all you have is a 50-round mag. You are the least armed person there.
No, you're a pussy there. Yeah, you can't. They won't even let you join a militia with that.
You may as well be unarmed, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Good Lord. So we don't know if they're carrying false IDs. Mm-hmm. And they said then some rumors started to fly. The more time there is, the more people will start to fester like a boil and a sore, and they'll figure out weird rumors. They start saying, okay, Gabrielle Goza Brooke here, there's a whole theory that the murders weren't random, but they were actually something that someone had tried to abduct Brooke for ransom because her family is prominent. Okay. And it went wrong. So that was a big, rumor around town. But everybody, don't worry. Everything is fine. The cops have a laptop now, so they're going to solve it.
Oh, great.
Huge article talking about how now they have a laptop. Literally, I swear to Christ.
They got a ThinkPad, you guys.
They wish they had a ThinkPad. They got a fucking Dell, and it's bad, probably. They said future large-scale investigations could be less time-consuming now that Costco of Warrenton has donated a $2,500 laptop computer to the police department, which, by the way, that didn't even get you that much computer back then.
Oh, boy.
That was a cheap laptop, $2,500 back then. Then the district attorney said not all agencies can afford to have laptops.
No, they can't.
I sleep in a race car bed. Do you sleep in a race car bed? That's generally what they're saying there. No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Okay. So they said, that's how that's going to work. And they said they're very excited. They've logged many hours investigating the murders, and this laptop is really going to make the difference.
We're passing it around. Everybody gets a chance.
It's like the Stanley Cup. Everyone gets to take it home for a day or two on the whole team. Take your picture with it, they put it next to them, take it out to the bar, let everybody drink out of it. Then America's Most Wanted comes along.
Here we go. Call them names. Let's do it.
They say America's Most Wanted will likely air an episode profiling the suspects this Saturday, though its broadcast isn't set in stone, the show's publicist said. A film crew from America's Most Wanted recently spent the better part of a day inside Seaside gathering material for an upcoming episode. They said, unlike some America's Most Wanted segments, next week's focus on McAllister and Price will be presented as a news package rather than the whole reenactment thing. Remember, they would just do like look out for these guys, but they wouldn't do a whole reenactment.
Here's 5 scumbags that we want you to catch.
Exactly.
And they just do that.
So quick, they got to go through them quick. America's Most Wanted, they said, receives information regarding 150 to 300 cases a week. So how do they decide which cases to do?
How?
Like to really profile and do the reenactment? Well, staff consider a suspect's criminal history in order to determine his or her potential danger to others when deciding which case to broadcast. Priority is given to fugitives, quote, who pose an extreme threat to society. I think these two killing people for no fucking reason, still having a 50-round fucking magazine in their possession, I would say they fall pretty square under that.
And could be fucking anywhere?
And could be anywhere. I would say so. Wow. They said, but such as serial murderers or anyone who seems poised to begin a killing spree. These two seem like the perfect candidates for a killing spree,
They
right?
literally started.
Yeah.
And they're on the run, making them desperate, making them more dangerous.
Yep. Thank God they didn't read about Henry Lee Lucas. They'd have shot 50 people along the way. Yeah. Wow. The television show aired a 10-second spot on McAllister and Price 3 weeks ago, although the segment only generated a handful of phone responses, about 4 or 5. The publicist said, all it takes is one. We actually caught a guy with just one phone call once. And we've been talking about it constantly since.
Never shut up about it.
Never. So Frank Nims Sr. spent $2,500 out of his pocket for a private investigator, which is a lot of money back then, too. You know what I mean? Out of pocket for doing that. And then at the same time, once the PI didn't do anything, or couldn't crack the case, I should say, he hired a psychic even.
Oh, boy.
No leads really came of anything from the psychic either. Shocking. I know everybody catch your breath. I think I'm psychic.
I knew that.
You knew that, right? See? Someone should hire you. It's good. I might have a little bit of it too. I think it's hire me too. I think hire us. We're a psychic team. We'll come to your house. Psychic duo, which sounds cooler. Yeah. I like that. So October 97, they're still gone.
What?
Still, their car is found.
Oh, yeah.
The car is found, but they made it. The car is found. They combed for clues in the cars. It is abandoned in southern Baja, California, which is fucking Mexico.
Yeah.
It's the piece that comes down from San Diego all the way down, like Rosarito and all that shit in it. They made it to the southern tip of Baja in this car.
Wow.
They made it.
To the tip of the peninsula?
All the way down to the bottom of Baja. They made it to. That's where the car was found parked. So February 1998, it's been over 6 months. This is insanity now. They said that, the FBI is involved. Now they know they're in Mexico based on the car. But they said basically the trail went cold at the border. There's can't find anything. July 16th, 1998.
Wow.
A year and 2 days since the murders. Big article, suspects remain at large. A $55,000 reward, which now they have, has failed to lead to the arrest of Brad and Jesse, which is fucking crazy. Wow.
Nobody in Mexico heard about this reward? Because it feels like somebody down there might be like, that's a lot of money.
These two fucking gringos, we can cash in on these idiots fast.
Guys.
Also, they have a memorial here. Some friends remember the victims on the year anniversary as well. Brooke's mom said, my daughter was everything to me and her 2 children. Her loss has caused indescribable grief and loneliness. And so she also said, please accept my sincere appreciation for every word of encouragement and your prayers. So many of us will never stop loving Brooke. So finally, July 18th, 1998, a couple days later than that. Wow. 8 a.m., a guy comes walking across the border near Brownsville.
Back into America? Texas?
With a duffel bag. Now, a customs official noted that normal people ride a bus or take a cab or something. They don't haul luggage across on foot at that hour normally. It just doesn't. So he's stuck out to them. So a customs agent basically here flagged him down, talked to him, and decided to check the bag he was carrying and sent him over to another agent. So this turned out to be McAllister. McAllister was there. They found out who he was. They found his identification. They realized he's a super wanted fugitive, and he's arrested. Just McAllister. Just him. He's flown back on a commercial flight, which was fun for the other people on the flight. Just sitting in coach, hanging out. They land in Portland and then drive over, and they stick him in the Clatsop County Jail. A reporter from the Daily Historian got to his older brother Josh here and asked him about it. And Josh said, this year has been hell, and it isn't getting any better as far as right now goes. That's what his brother said. Now we're going to have to deal with all this shit.
Now it just got worse.
Yep. He described his relationship with Jesse McAllister as extremely close. He said he's glad the arrest was peaceful, and he's glad his brother hadn't been taken by force or harmed. The two had spoken by phone on Sunday when he was in jail in Texas, and he said hearing his brother's voice was nice, quote, even though it was under those circumstances. And he said he's scared for his brother.
Sure.
So where the fuck is Brad Price?
What the fuck, Brad?
2 days later, at a nightclub in Mexico City, which is nowhere near the border, by the way.
That's down at the tip.
That is way down there. 2 days later, at a fucking nightclub in Mexico City, Price is arrested.
Wow.
They found
him. What?
They were looking for him. They picked him out. Yeah, somebody probably snitched him out or something. But they were living in an apartment together. They had shared for a while, and then I guess McAllister decided he wanted to go back. Mexican authorities take him into custody, and then, of course, they do the deportation stuff because he's wanted and everything like that. So they hand him over to U.S. custody. Mm-hmm. The problem is Mexico will not hand him over until they agree, the prosecution in Oregon agrees to not seek the death penalty, because that's what all civilized countries do. Yeah. Not saying Mexico's the most civilized country. I'm just saying every European country does that. Every country, pretty much any country you think of as civilized does that, except for us. We're like, we'll only give him back to you if you promise to kill him. So it's funny. Anyway, they hand him over. They make that deal, and no capital punishment. So they stick them in 2 different jails, Brad and Jesse.
Yeah.
They stick them in there because many of the other inmates at the Clatsop County Jail had personally known either Brooke or Frank. Which, why the fuck do they know everybody in jail?
What?
Half the jail population knows these two, apparently. Which Frank was in jail, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Parole, people who own restaurants get workers from parole. That's what they do because they know they'll show up every day.
Yeah,
because if they don't, they get fired. Yeah. And so Anthony Bourdain in his book said he loved hiring people on parole because they show up.
They have to.
Period.
They got no choice.
They need that job. It's better than prison.
If they don't show up here, they go back and they're
trouble. Going somewhere. So apparently they said that the sheriff said that many inmates were yelling that they would get him if they could. Get these guys if they could. There was 2 credible death threats against both suspects. The jail had no way to keep them in protective isolation at once, 2 people. They only had one person worth of ability to do that. So within days, McAllister was moved to the Polk County jail in Dallas, Oregon, Dallas and Milwaukee, and Price was moved to the Tillamook County Jail. Yeah. So now, Price is going to do a lot of talking.
Yeah?
Would we like to know what the fuck happened that day?
Why was he? Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, let's find out what went on here. Okay, 2 a.m., McAllister and Price, they'd spent half the night bar hopping. Well, this is because their TV broke, so we're jumping the gun. Their TV broke, so they decided to go out to a bar and get some drinks. Okay, so they were doing that.
With an underage kid.
With an underage kid, yeah. So they're going bar hopping. So they did that. Then they went home. The TV broke, and then the TV was broke, so they, quote, got bored.
As you do.
It's the middle of the night, too. I mean,
go to bed.
Yeah. How about go to bed? Exactly.
Solve this problem tomorrow at a pawn shop.
Make 30 pizza rolls, eat them all, and go to sleep. I do it. It's great. And you'll never feel better if you eat 30 pizza rolls and then go to sleep.
And 22 and 19, they don't even know what fucking indigestion is yet.
Fuck no. They're going to wake up. The pepperoni ones you eat, too. Those are the best ones. And then you wake up feeling like $1 million.
They've never felt heartburn in their lives.
Nope. So McAllister said... He dropped a suggestion. He said that let's go out and look for someone to kill. Jesse said that, apparently.
Yeah.
And Jesse backs that up, too. That was his idea. Wow. Price said that when they set out for the beach, he knew that McAllister had brought a backpack, and he knew what was in the backpack, which is the loaded Calico 9mm.
Yeah.
So Brad gets into the car, knowing that he had a gun and all that. They first stop at Delray Beach. That's the first place they stop at. But it's completely deserted. Totally empty. It's 3 a.m, so makes sense. Nobody to kill, so they got back into the car and drove to the beach at Seaside instead, where they knew there'd be people.
Yeah.
So about 4 a.m., they come upon 3 young people at a bonfire on the sand. This isn't the 2 people we talked about earlier. This is the 3. Their names are Carrie Ann Barkey, Amy Eckroth, and Kevin Westrick. So 2 young ladies and a young man.
Good for you,
Kev.
Kev.
Across. Kev's doing okay out there on that beach. This is the bonfire group here, okay? And they're young, so they're teenagers, all of them, like 18, 19, that age. So apparently a couple of them are cousins, whatever. They're sitting around in a fire, smoking cigarettes and talking like you do. McAllister and Price walked up to them and introduced themselves using fake names.
Okay.
Number one. They talked for about a half hour. Barkey, the one, Carrie Ann Barkey, said she didn't worry when McAllister told them that he had a badge and a gun in his bag. She thought it was a sarcastic reply to a joke by her cousin that she was the beach police and wanted to seize the fake identification they had. Her cousin made a joke because they said, "Where were you guys tonight?" And blah, blah, blah. They have fake IDs. I'm the beach police. I'm going to take those. They were joking. Then, according to Carrie Ann Barkey, McAllister took it a weird place. Quote, he started bringing up a conversation that sounded like it had started prior to stopping at our campfire. He started talking about a notion. They kept bringing up the word notion. I got a notion. I got a notion. Notions kept coming up, which sounds like a bad 80s singles bar. Come down to Notions.
Yeah.
They put like phones on the table where you call another table. One of those, like in that Jim Carrey movie, Once Bitten. It's awful. So they're sitting there and they thought it was weird. Notion. Why'd they keep talking about a notion? And it was just Jesse and Brad talking about it. And they would like ignore the group and talk amongst each other about this notion. So it was really weird. Now, the word notion, Brad would later say, quote, he was thinking about killing someone. That was the notion. That's what that meant, essentially. McAllister kept bringing it back up again. So this Carrie Ann Barkey said, what the fuck are you talking about? Why do you keep saying notion? What does that mean? McAllister's answer here is, quote, you'll find out as soon as I'm done with this cigarette. So she said that scared her, this young lady. That's just the way he said it was scary. Yeah. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Price is like bringing up other things. Brad Price asked McAllister, you want to go to the liquor store or back to the apartment? Let's get more booze. Should we go to the liquor store or the apartment to get the booze? So they think maybe that was he was trying to get McAllister out of here right now. Then McAllister kept asking Price what he thought about the notion. Mm-hmm. So what about that notion? And Price's answer was that he was, quote, taking precautions. I'm taking precautions. What about the notion? I'm taking precautions. To which at one point McAllister said back to him in front of the group, quote, what precautions are there to take? It's perfect. There's no one around. It's dark. There's no one on the beach. So what precautions are there to take? Okay.
Oh, boy. Now he's just saying shit out loud because it doesn't matter if they hear it because he wants to kill these people.
Absolutely. So Price and McAllister, they're talking to each other, and Barkey said it was, quote, almost like we weren't even there. He kept persisting about the motion, the notion. Price responded to there's no one around. It's the beach. Price responded, we're too close to the promenade.
Promenade, right.
People can hear. So Barkey said that she again asked what was going on, and McAllister said, quote, I'll tell you when I'm done with my cigarette. He said it very mean and coldly. Oh, McAllister then got mad at Brad and said, are you scared? You're scared, aren't you? Or is it that there's only two of us and 3 of them?
Oh, my God.
Are you a pussy, basically? Yeah. You afraid they're going to take us or something? Yeah. So at that point, Barkey said she got the distinct impression that McAllister was challenging Price here. He was trying to, She's you do. What are you, pussy?
Yeah, she's got some pretty good street smarts there. It's very obvious what's happening.
Absolutely. Anybody with any street smarts will start to feel this.
Yeah.
Remember in Deadwood when Joni was explaining to the new prostitute how to know when things are going wrong? You got to feel the electricity in the air. When you feel that, get the fuck out of there. You have to have that. You have to, or else stay in your house.
There's 3 of them and only 2 of us. I'd look around and go, wait a minute.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
We gotta leave,
do you want to fuck us or kill us? Which one is it? It's one of the 2.
Yeah. I got a feeling Kev over here is not safe.
God damn. Yeah, exactly. Then out of nowhere, McAllister turns to them and says, "You guys don't have to worry about being robbed."
Oh.
They're like, "Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting." When asked, Barkey said she was pretty sure McAllister was looking to do something bad. And when they asked about price, she said, "Maybe, I wasn't sure." She said McAllister appeared to be challenging Price, saying, "Are you scared? Are you scared? Although, there's only two of us." Then said, "Don't you worry, I'm going to rob you." Her older cousin whispered to her that they should leave. Quote, "I guess I was just so scared I didn't want to move. I thought it would cause trouble." But they decided to get up and walk away. Now, Price says this himself, that he stood up and pointed it out to McAllister, going, "Look, they're leaving." Okay? And McAllister then said to Price, "You better make your decision quickly." And they heard them. The bonfire group heard that. And he put his hand inside the backpack where his gun was. How about it? You want me to grab it or not? Which is very weird. During one of the moments before they got up, Price walked around the group and stood behind the one man in the group too, Kevin, the boy. I don't know why he did that, but he did that for a while. So this guy slipped off his coat's hood to see him better. Like, why is this dude behind me? What the fuck? So they're walking away in the dark, and Price doesn't say anything. He just points to them, and that's it. But they did hear McAllister say to Price, quote, "I'm very disappointed in you." "You're 3 years younger than me. Go fuck yourself. What are you talking about? Disappointed in me?" Thanks, Dad. Yeah. So they said at no point did Price say anything like, "Leave these people alone. We don't have to do this." It just seemed like he was hedging and didn't know what to do here. Price and McAllister were smoking Camel cigarettes and had shared some with Barkey and her cousin. So police found cigarette butts of the same brand and everything by the bonfire as they found next to the bodies of Frank or of Casey and Brooke. So at that point, after the bonfire group breaks up, the boys decided to walk home, McAllister and Price. They just decided to walk home. On their way home, near the promenade, they found a couple sitting on the walkway there.
Right.
Along the walkway, it's a man and a woman. The local taverns let out and everything, and it's Casey and Brooke. And they were just out hanging out, waiting for the sun to come up. So Casey asked Jesse and Brad, "Do you guys have any weed?" as they walked by. Because it's the middle of the night, and, good chance maybe somebody does. McAllister said no. So Casey says, "Come on, don't be stingy. I don't know you, first of all."
Don't be stingy is a fascinating. Don't hang on to all the weed that you've purchased. Share it with a stranger.
Share it with me, this guy that's just sitting here that you'll never see again.
Right.
Whenever anybody tries that shit with me, like on the streets and cities that we're touring and stuff, I'm immediately, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. You got to get aggressive with people on the street.
Find your weed.
Yeah, these are like homeless people that are doing it too. It's like, I will give you $5. I'll get whatever. Don't fucking tell me I'm not giving you weed. Fuck you. Get your own weed.
Don't call me stingy.
I'll give you your own joint, but I'm not giving you a hit off my joint. That ain't happening.
I'm not putting this in your mouth.
No, I'm not putting it in anybody's mouth I don't know. It's not even, don't take it personal.
I just saw something recently that was the guy was sharing a joint with, put it in his knuckles and took a hit out of his fist. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's like some old school weird shit when you want to look like a fucking lunatic who either, that's just crazy.
This is a very interesting choice. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you don't trust me now. That felt more insulting than taking.
It is insulting.
I understand taking care of yourself, but
that's part of the.
What do you think?
That's part of the community of smoking a joint, though. Is part of it is it's like back in the day when they all pass something around to drink or whatever. It's a thing that we're all in this together. So when you go, then you're not in this with me now. You're just smoking my weed, even though you think I'm diseased. Fuck you.
Right. And I get the Kenny Powers, like, you don't know what shit I have either. But it's like, I don't know, man. I handed you my joint. I'm on board with it.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm okay with you putting your fucking face on it.
Smoked out of your fist and told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah. Might as well have. God damn. So That's what's going on. Don't be stingy.
Yeah.
Then McAllister stops after the stingy comment, turns to Price and says, "You want to smoke a bowl?"
Oh. So
that he knows that they have weed too. So they don't have any weed, by the way.
No weed. No bowls.
He says, "You want to no bowls." So he said, "Do you want to smoke a bowl?" What he's really asking is, "Would you like to kill these people?" He's asking Price, apparently. So according to this, Price said, "Yes, let's smoke a bowl," knowing that neither of them have any weed. So, and Price would later say he knew what he was agreeing to. He knew that this had nothing to do with weed. He knew that McAllister intended to murder them, and he said he knew that the second he offered up the weed that he didn't have. He said he knew he was going to kill those people. So they're now walking somewhere, away from the promenade and the hotels to smoke the weed, as you used to have to do. And they said, quote, "There's a little swing set there. That's where the deed took place." That's what the sergeant said, by the swing set. So they walked toward the swing set in the dark. As they walked, at some point, Casey Nims said, "Do you actually have any weed? Like, where are we going? What's going on? You haven't whipped anything out. What's going on?" And then Price said no. Okay. So that everybody just stopped. And Casey and Brooke were like, "Okay, well, we're not going any further then. Where the fuck are we going? What are we doing?" McAllister pulls the gun out at that point. Now, this is fucking amazing. And Brooke is a badass, okay? This is ballsy. Like a seasoned Hell's Angel wouldn't do this. Yeah. This is crazy, okay? He whips the gun out, is pointing it at them. Brooke, rather than cower or do anything like that, she charges at him and kicks him in the chest. This is a crazy looking gun too. Yeah. This isn't a little gun. She said, and attacked him. She charged him and kicked the motherfucker. Wow. That's a bad bitch. I like her a lot. Like
again, I
take her home.
She's faced challenges before. This ain't shit.
This ain't shit. It's at that point when she kicks him, the gun goes off.
Oh.
Okay. She fell to the ground believing she'd been shot, which is what people do. Even when they're shot or whether they're not shot, on TV, you see people get shot and fall down. Right. So people get shot and fall down because they think they're supposed to, even if they're fine, even if they can get up and walk away.
Well, also,
they think that's what it is.
A lot of times when you're shot, you don't even know that you're shot. So a noise of a shot, you may think, "Fuck, I'm hit," and then fell.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a psychological thing that they say is it's a learned behavior of getting shot and falling down. If you know you got shot, you fall down because you think that's what you're supposed to do, even though most of the time you could stay up unless it hit a major artery or nerve or something. Otherwise, you're fine for the most part. You could walk it off. Not walk it off, but walk away from it. So the gun went off. She fell down believing she'd been shot. So now there's a long second here where... guess what? The gun's jammed.
Right.
Yes.
That's trash.
McAllister's trying to clear the jam. Now, Brooke is down but alive and fine. And Casey's still standing there. And this is just a long, big second. What do you do in this second? You know what I mean? So Casey, at that point, rather than turning and run away, he thought Brooke was shot, so he goes to try to help her. Which is, I mean, he might have been able to get away if he just turned and ran away, but he was trying to help his friend.
It's what we're learned to do, of take care of somebody injured, especially a woman.
Yeah, that's what you do, especially a woman 10 years younger than you. You know, it's just a thing. So it's at that point that Price keeps Brooke from getting away while McAllister clears the thing. So this is where Price actually has some active participation in this. He basically stands over her, keeps her down, keeps her from running while it happens. So McAllister clears the jam, steps over Brooke, who's being held down by Brad, and shoots Casey in the head while he was standing. One shot, front of the head, drops him. Okay. McAllister later said, "I figured Price would back me up if she tried to go anywhere," meaning Brooke.
Yeah.
Okay. Price was still leaning over Brooke after Casey was killed. So McAllister had to nudge Brad Price out of the way with his elbow to be able to shoot Brooke.
Wow.
So moved him off. He leaned down and shot her in the head as she laid down in the sand.
Fuck.
Pussy. Total pussy shit. Shoot a woman while she's laying in the fucking sand. Like, that's just pathetic. Give her a chance to kick you again. How about that?
The whole event is garbage.
It's all garbage. Yeah, this is garbage. These two are garbage people. So Brad did that. Brad watches this whole thing. These two people are dead, shot in the head. Yeah. They're standing there. Brad Price turns to McAllister and said, Mexico doesn't sound bad this time of year.
Wow.
Because they had talked about that because they watched in cold blood.
We're in a lot of trouble now. Yeah.
Yep. So before leaving, they stop at the store. Mm-hmm. They leave the beach, shot people in the head. They stop at the store at Herb's Quick Mart.
Yeah.
To buy a couple of lighters, a couple of Bics, a couple of cigarette lighters. The clerk is a friend of McAllister's and knew him, and McAllister looked over and he said, quote, I just shot 2 people on the beach.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Then he starts making phone calls. That's what's fucking amazing. McAllister repeatedly, by the way, on these phone calls, we don't know if this is true and he's trying to take Brad off the hook or if he wants he wants all the credit for it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You never know with a kid like this. A kid like this, he just said, it's all me. Huh. He said, whatever you hear, Brad had nothing to do with it, he told one of the people.
He's not as tough as I am.
That's what I mean. I don't know if it's him being like, hey, listen, I'll take the rap for this one, or if it's him being like, I'm the badass. Brad's a pussy. Don't listen to him. Right. Then he said, I'm leaving town and you'll know why in the morning, he tells somebody else. Then the just for the hell of it line of, why'd you kill those people? Brad's mom does not believe any of this, by the way. They're in custody.
Yeah.
He has admitted all of it.
Right.
Jesse's told the story. They have all the physical evidence, but she says, I don't think so.
Not my boy.
No, she insisted there's no way her son was capable of this kind of violence. She said, we were on a hunting trip as a kid. He couldn't even shoot a deer.
Well,
no way he killed these people.
Probably just can't shoot something that far away.
Yeah. So McAllister and Price's journals, they find, by the way, sections of which were admitted into evidence later on, show a real interwoven relationship between the pair, and they really affected each other a lot, basically. Yeah. Price influenced McAllister to write poetry and to read books. McAllister's not, it's kind of like what I try to do with you.
Yeah, pretty good influence.
Including Ken Kesey's Sometimes a Great Notion. Ken Kesey wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and he formed the Merry Pranksters group, which is a really interesting group from the 60s to look up. And he also got busted for, just a quick thing, he got busted for possession of marijuana, which was a big deal in the early 60s. And he faked his own death by throwing his van off a cliff and shit, and faked his own death and went to Paraguay for 2 years before he came back. This guy's he's an awesome character, man. Great character.
Is that illegal?
Yes, very.
Faking your own death?
Yes, it is illegal to fake your own death, especially that way, I think. I don't know if it's illegal, it's the things you do to fake your own death that make it illegal.
Makes it fraud, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So McAllister called Price his best friend and all that. Also, the guy who sold the gun to them called them a team. They seem like a team. So March 1999, will McAllister plea? Because there's a thing of whether he's going to make a plea deal. Now, Brooks' mother, Gloria Guritz, said, quote, I think it's kind of obvious he'll be entering a plea. She says she absolutely and consistently opposes the death penalty. She said, what they do with him in the flesh is irrelevant.
Oh.
Fair enough. He is going to plead guilty, McAllister. Jesse McAllister pleads. Basically, the reason why he pleads, and this is we don't know if this is true or not, but we're pretty sure. During a year on the run, apparently relatives and parents had sent him money and helped him, which is aiding, abetting a fucking fugitive at that point. So basically, they said people believe, and we don't know if that's true, but people believe that this is the chip that they use to plea bargain with him. Is
if you don't plead, then we're going to take your mom too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to arrest the rest of you, put you all on trial.
Well, there's also the fact
that
Yeah.
Everybody's off the hook.
There's also the fact that he went across the border at Brownsville, so we can kill you if you don't plea.
That's the other thing. So, you're not, the death penalty's on the table for this, but they're not going to use the death penalty. They don't want the death penalty here because they feel like later on it will be an appeals point. Right. First of all, you can't get him to plead guilty if you have the death penalty on the table, number one.
Right, that's my point. He took the plea because death penalty's on the table.
Second, if Price, then he's not going to get the death penalty because that's been negotiated later on. The other one here, McAllister, could use that in appeals saying it was not, it was disproportionate because his partner got this and he got that. So that's what I think they're trying to avoid too. He pleads guilty to 2 counts of aggravated murder.
It's not good.
Okay. During the thing, he has to do an allocution. That's part of it too. There are deals with this. As part of the deals, no parole and no appeals. He's not allowed to appeal. He got the Brian Kohberger deal. No appeals, no fucking anything. You go in there and shut the fuck up forever. Yeah. No hearing from you. Which is, for the family, they said, great, he's gone forever. Good deal.
But
the victim's family.
Throw the mea culpa out there, huh?
Yep. He said, in the early morning hours of July 4th, 1997, I was walking on the beach near the promenade in Seaside. There I met Ms. Goza and Mr. Nims. Together we walked away from the sand dunes. I intentionally shot Mr. Nims in the head while he was standing. I then shot Ms. Goza in the head while she lay in the sand. Now, during the impact statements here from the family, Don, who is Casey's brother, said, Casey was my brother, my friend, my fishing buddy, my helper. I'm never going to see him again. There are no words that can describe our pain, frustration, and anger. At least you'll never be able to cause harm to another family. I have satisfaction in my heart knowing when I see my brother again in heaven, Jesse won't be there. Oh, you won't be there, McAllister.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. During this, McAllister lowered his eyes to what Don Nims then said, I've wanted to look you right in the eye and say and do a lot more to you than I'm allowed. Then Frank Nims said, the father said, you took them just for the hell of it. He said, I want you to rot in hell, is also what the dad said. Casey's kids both testified too here.
That's right.
Because now his son is 17, his daughter's like 13. Mm-hmm. His daughter said, I'm the 13-year-old daughter of Frank Nims. I used to think nothing terrible would happen to me. When I found out about my dad, all of my hopes and dreams for a normal future were destroyed. How could anyone commit such a sinister crime? I hope Jesse McAllister has the rest of his life to think about the pain he has caused. And then called him a monster.
Oh, wait. That's a great point. Like, as a child, you think that, you don't even consider this.
No, what do you don't consider? The adults know what they're doing.
Yeah. And then your dad just
they're out there.
Is murdered on the beach in the middle of the night.
Crazy.
If it can happen to him, it can happen to me. And I'm 12 and I now know that.
Now I'm terrified because he was strong. He was the guy I looked at as the protector.
Yeah.
She also said, at least my father went to heaven. When you die and meet your maker, you better hope he's a lot more forgiving than I am.
Oh, fuck.
That's a good one from a kid.
That's a vicious 13-year-old.
Then the lost person in all this, Casey's fiance.
Oh, Bonnie.
This poor woman.
Yeah.
She said, you took away a loving man. And she also said to rot in hell as well. That seems to be a theme that's going on.
They seem to be very for that.
Yeah. Brooke's mom said, Jesse, you crushed so many hearts and lives. As a result, I am living dead. I died with Brooke. And she said, Brooke will live every hour of every day in my heart. Then the prosecution says his family, in their closing, his family will be able to come and visit him. The murder victims did nothing to deserve what happened to them. Then Jesse says some shit to the family. What? He says, I know how my words must ring hollow in your ears and my voice may lack emotions I'd like to portray. But please realize what I say now comes from the heart. I do not know the words that could express the remorse and sorrow I feel for the pain I've caused, though my actions have not only hurt Nims and Goza families, but Bradley and my own as well. Please accept my most sincere apologies. Nothing I could say or do would restore what I've taken from you. I just pray someday you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. Yeah. The judge says your considerable actions caused considerable pain to many people. The families are going to continue to suffer every day. You, sir, may fuck off. 2 consecutive life sentences, no parole, no appeals.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Way to keep them.
I would say so. When asked if he forgave McAllister, Dr. Goza said, "Who knows? I have a lot of bad thoughts, but it's time to put that behind us. You can't change what happened." Uh-huh. Now, Don Nims, the brother, is a little more set on his. He said, "No way in my mind am I ever going to forgive him. I wanted to see the pictures of the people's lives he took and remember that I remembered him to remember that the rest of his stinking life." Okay. The 1999 is Brad Price's trial, and he opts for a bench trial.
Is that right?
Which makes sense because a jury is going to juries are going to think how scary that is, that it's random and like that's very scary. And a judge might have a little more perspective on the whole thing. Now, during this trial here, he's charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder. He faces the same maximum sentence. Yeah. You never know. Or he could get life with parole. Okay. Will McAllister testify here? Both sides said they intend to call McAllister as a witness during the trial, but they don't know if he'll actually testify or just take the fifth, because that's not part of the deal, is that he has to testify. So they don't know. They said if he doesn't speak, they're going to try to use his videotaped interview where he told everything to the police instead. The moms sit together. Oh. His mother and Brooke's mother sit together.
What?
Yes. Gloria Guritz and Pat Westling. They sit together. They go in together. They sit together. And
they both lost a child, James.
Yeah. Brooks's mother said, "We have to be bigger than that. We have to set a good example." Yeah. Which is very mature. Incredible. Very mature. Yeah. The prosecution here scoff at the claim that Brad was a mere observer in the beach, because that's the defense is he was just an observer. The other guy did everything, basically. So he said Bradley Price was no observer in this case. He bought the gun. He bought the ammunition. He was, in fact, the brains of the operation. Yeah. They also say that it was inspired by repeated viewings of In Cold Blood, and they set out to kill somebody. It was a premeditated conspiracy to commit murder, although ironically of nobody in particular. It was a desire to have some sort of experience. Bradley Price was kneeling beside her with his hand on her. Mr. Price was right there, right over Brooke Goza. Brooke Goza didn't have a chance of living. Then they talk about, they fled to Mexico, which shows even more of his guilt, that he would flee to Mexico. His attorney here, or that the district attorney, contends that Price helped his friend carry out and plan this whole thing. The defense said he was only kneeling over Brooke to tell her that she hadn't been shot. He was just doing a medical sweep.
Yeah.
Just a quick bullet
I found
check.
No shots.
Nothing. He said, in fact, he did everything in his power to stop these murders from occurring. He described his client as a somewhat unique individual who was passive, nonviolent, and actually called a peacemaker by his friends. He said that, the teens at the bonfire will testify that Price was trying to talk McAllister into simply going home. Uh-huh. He said every single one of those 3 people, every single one say Mr. Price continued to try to talk Mr. McAllister into leaving. He tried to talk him out of doing anything. And he said the guy who sold the gun to them insisted on handing it to Price because he knew McAllister couldn't legally own a gun because of his youth. He said, so, this was all for McAllister. Right. 90 minutes after the bodies were found, McAllister called his friend to tell him, whatever you hear, Brad had nothing to do with it. And the shootings were for the hell of it. He goes, so that's coming from McAllister. Yeah. Right. He said that Price feels morally responsible for not stopping Mr. McAllister, but that's not legal responsible. That's what he said. Yeah, that's what the lawyer said. He said Price went to the beach not thinking anything bad would happen, although McAllister had previously talked of killing someone, and Price testified or said to the police in a statement in the affidavit that he knew what McAllister wanted to do. He said McAllister pulled the gun. Nims started to walk away. A scuffle ensued. She ran up and kicked him. A shot was accidentally discharged. And they say, this is the defense attorney saying, Goza said she was hit and yelled, "I was shot in the eye. I was shot in the eye." Oh. Price went over to comfort her and told her, "You're not shot," and then gently patted her on the head. Then he got her a snow cone. Yeah. No, this is ridiculous.
Well, his friend shot her in the face.
Yeah, that's all. So he said that Price panicked and decided to flee with McAllister. Mm-hmm. He said, bad decision, no question. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Bad times. So this is insane here. They start talking about the notion of killing someone. And he said Price was just trying to convince McAllister to go home. Price walked around the group and behind Westrick to try to draw McAllister away from the group home, not as a threat to stand behind the poor guy and creep him out. And then also Price, McAllister, and Eric Menzel, the guy he called in the morning, had gone to Price and McAllister's apartment to watch videos. He said, not killing anyone, watching videos. But when their television broke, that's when they went out bar hopping.
Sure.
The Menzel guy left about 12:30 a.m. because he was underage and didn't have any fake ID. So they ended up, Price and McAllister ended up at the beach in Brew, and they hung out. By the way, that is where Gauze and Nims were drinking too.
Oh.
They left around 2:30 a.m., so they had to have seen them. They had to have. McAllister told their friend Menzel that Price was starting to lose it. At one point on the way to Mexico, McAllister told Price, you didn't do anything. I'll turn the car around and bring you back to Seaside if you want. Okay, so they do a tour of the crime scene, a roped-off area of about 400 yards here. So they do that. They bring the judge and the lawyers all go down to look at it. They bring witnesses in. Cellmate here of Price, Gary Gottschall, a former cellmate of Price's, was expected to testify here. They did testify, but then Travis William Brumble, an inmate at the jail, testified that Gary Gottschall often voiced threats to kill Price when all three were held in the jail. So that's interesting. This guy testified, and then they bring in another guy who says, oh, no, that guy who said that thing, he tried to kill Brad. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Barbara Higler is a sergeant at the jail, described finding a toothbrush sharpened into a weapon in Gottschall's cell.
Nice.
And said that Gottschall was known for lying and that Brumble was known for telling the truth, and she described Price as a model prisoner.
But he was going to get it.
He was going to get stabbed, yeah. Brad testifies.
Yeah.
Got nothing to lose here. Nothing to lose. He said that he turned to tell McAllister about Brooke that she was okay so Jesse wouldn't continue with this. Like, hey, you didn't shoot her, so you don't have to shoot her, basically.
Yeah, leave her alone now.
He said, I remember thinking if he shot Nims, he was going to kill her next, and I didn't want to be in that direction. The last thing I remember, it's the last thing I remember until running down the beach. He said his first words were to suggest they flee to Mexico, where they did, obviously here. Price admitted he knew McAllister's intention when they left the apartment for bar hopping. They said, so you were doing what? And he said, yeah, to look for someone to kill, I guess. Mm-hmm. Price said, but I didn't take him seriously at all. It just seemed like an absurd idea to me. It didn't seem possible. He suggested he said he was the one who suggested they drive to Delray Beach, hoping that along the 15-minute drive, the guy would forget about it and not want to do it anymore. He said, plus Delray Beach is empty a lot, so he thought maybe getting there and not seeing anybody, he'd go, all right, fuck it, let's go home.
So he's just saying that he's a talker, but he helped the guy get a gun.
That's what I mean. He said McAllister parked the car a block away from their apartment, and they walked the few blocks to the beach. They walked to south to the length of the prom and then headed back. Mm-hmm. On the half-mile walk back, Price said he forgot about McAllister's intentions and the gun in his backpack.
Right.
So I forgot all about it. At that point, we were just hanging out. He said that's when they ran into the tourists at the campsite, and he said McAllister acted friendly at first, but then started talking about this notion. And he said that's when he realized that McAllister hadn't forgotten and that he was actually trying to kill someone. He said, I think he was trying to get me to go along with whatever he was thinking of doing, and I knew I had no intention of killing someone. So he said he purposely argued with McAllister to try to come up with reasons to leave. And he said he walked around the other side of the group to draw McAllister's attention away, basically. When they left, he said McAllister growled and fired a shot off in anger. I thought he'd realized he'd been defeated in his plan to do this.
So he fired a round off at the beach anyway?
At the beach before, when they left, according to him. Now, Goza, he also said that Brooke invited them to a party, but Casey wanted to smoke marijuana. That's what he says, Price. He denied McAllister's testimony that he asked Price if he wanted to smoke with the pair. as a cue as to whether to want to kill them or not. Okay. He said at McAllister's suggestion, the four walked into the dunes. Price said he trailed the group, contradicting McAllister's claim that Price and Nims led. Right. Now, about 1,000 feet onto the beach, Price said Nims stopped and asked McAllister, "Do you actually have weed?" Price said no, which was meant as he called a feeble warning about McAllister's plans. Like, no, we don't. Like, you should go now, basically. Yeah. Nims confronted McAllister and said he was leaving. McAllister pulled out the 9mm from the backpack, and he said, quote, with a terrified kind of look in his eyes, he waved it toward the other three. Price said that he and Nims were standing side by side and both took a couple steps backwards. Nims asked if the gun was real, and Price told him it was. That's when Brooke charged and kicked McAllister. The gun went off, hitting no one. He said, quote, she was laughing and saying she'd been shot in the eye. She's like,
I don't think she was laughing.
I don't think she was laughing either. He could tell she was alive because she was kicking when she lay on her back. When he saw Goza wasn't hurt, he said he turned to tell McAllister, hoping to, you don't have to kill these people. But he said at that point it was too late, and he started shooting people, and Mexico came up, and that's how everything had to go.
Okay.
He said, quote, I knew I wasn't going to be heroic and try to take the gun away from him, and I knew he wasn't going to listen to me, but I really didn't believe he would kill anyone. So on cross, they say, quote, for that 1,000 feet, every step, you knew Jesse McAllister was intending to kill people. He said, I knew that's what he had on his mind. I didn't believe he was capable of murdering anyone. They were like, I think you did. And also, everything you described counteracts the physical evidence as well. The direction you guys came from and who was where is the footprints tell a completely different story as well. So
they love to do this, don't they? Criminals like this, they minimize so much.
Yep. He said he has no memory of Brooke being shot, which is a pretty significant moment here.
You were on top of her, man.
No shit. They take just a quick trial break here. Brad's parents watched silently as their son was there. As Price was led out of the courtroom, they exchanged a long look. His father, Chuck, gave him 2 thumbs up. Doing great. And then his mother said, I, quote, absolutely believe in his innocence. He just told you what happened.
And she believes he is innocent.
She said, it's obvious he was there, but he's not capable of something like this. Then she said, it was wonderful to see him. Wow. That's crazy. She said, this ordeal has been your worst nightmare you've ever had and not able to wake up. She said, my heart goes out to the families of both victims. We can't lose sight of what happened here. 2 people lost their lives. Yeah. Now, Casey's dad, Frank Sr., said, Price is full of shit. Oh. He said he's well rehearsed from his attorneys. The moms, by the way, Goza's mother said, it's all very confusing. I still think he's extremely guilty. He could have done something. Now, his mom is standing right next to her and saying, she said, I'm very proud of him. That's all I could say.
What in the fuck?
At the next day, the moms break up.
They had enough of each other.
Goza's mom said she could no longer sit next to Pat.
Yeah, you can't listen to that woman say, I'm so proud of you. She's so confused.
She said, now I feel Brad is more guilty than Jesse because he had more opportunity to stop the shootings. I don't think Pat, the other mother, can understand my feelings because she's so adamant that he's innocent.
Right.
Anyway, verdict comes in, and he is guilty of 2 counts of aggravated murder. During sentencing, the daughter, I won't read it because it's long and we don't have time, but she read a long fucking letter to him.
Which daughter? Casey's daughter?
Little Tasha there.
Oh, Jesus.
Tasha, whatever
She's
her name.
a badass.
She read him the riot act, boy. It's fucking good talking about you've completely ruined our lives. You'll never know how it feels to have your father or mother killed just for the hell of it. I mean, really into she's good. The defense, they bring out a shrink saying, okay, he's got some problems.
Yeah, he does.
He said that Price has a schizoid personality, and becoming involved with McAllister and the murders because of his personality, he was roped up in it, but he can learn from his mistake.
Oh, he's rehabilitative.
They said that his personality disorder, which is not schizophrenia, just schizoid, whatever, makes him rather distant, not interact with people, not get emotionally involved, and have little sexual interest. Oh. He said it's a disorder that starts in the teenage years or early adulthood. He describes people with schizoid personality disorder as vulnerable marks for aggressive and violent people like McAllister.
Oh.
He said it was almost like McAllister was all Price had. He called McAllister not only a psychopath, but a thrill killer, and he said that he was impressed that McAllister had a very close, loyal relationship with Price. Also said Price has an IQ of 125.
Really?
Pretty damn good.
Very smart, but impressionable and not interested in pussy.
Not interested in pussy. Not interested at all.
That's a problem.
Weird. That's it. I don't trust any 22-year-old who has those traits.
I mean, unless
not at all.
You're interested in
you're interested in something.
Fine, go nuts.
A hole of some kind.
Yeah.
You need to be chasing if you're a young man.
That's
doesn't
crazy,
matter who that hole's attached to, but you're chasing a hole. He also they bring in his.
It's not necessarily even asexual. It's just uninterested in. I guess that's asexual. Yes.
If you're not interested in anybody, yeah.
That's
or yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
They bring in his high school football coach, friends, family to mitigate for him. Anyway, you, sir, may fuck off. Yeah. 2 life sentences consecutive, but 30-year minimum. He is eligible for parole in 30 years, which is 2029, by the way, which is coming very soon.
Oh, no.
McAllister in prison, he was between the trial and the time he pled and then Brad's trial, he was involved in a prison stabbing, McAllister.
Okay.
He's dangerous. Yep, absolutely. They said the details of the stabbing were not immediately known, but the consequences were because of it, McAllister had to take a 6-month anger management course and was held in segregation for a long time.
This lifer's in just regular ass population, huh?
That's it. So then he tries something else. He tries to escape. McAllister does. McAllister in prison still a problem.
He's going to be forever.
He was carrying a note in his pants cuff to his accomplice. He was carrying a note to Brad in his pants cuff when he got caught. It was quickly thwarted when jail officers traced him to the ceiling and ordered him down. During an early evening check, they discovered McAllister, who had been reading alone in the library, was gone. Authorities say his path to freedom was blocked by thick concrete walls and locked steel doors, so he crawled around in the ceiling, quote, like a desperate gerbil. A desperate gerbil is the best fucking line ever.
His plan to escape prison was thwarted by prison.
By prison. Walls and such. Bars, walls, all that prison stuff.
And just ran around like a gerbil.
What is it? Like a corner, like a desperate gerbil. That's amazing.
Hysterical. That's amazing.
In neat print with perfect spelling, McAllister's note said Price's lawyers told him that Price hadn't tried to sell me out. And he adds, I hope you know that I'm not trying to tell on you either. Just trying to be friends with his buddy.
What the fuck?
Brad appeals. He does a direct appeal. He has a 2008 appeal, ineffective assistance of counsel, saying he was denied due process because he was convicted on insufficient evidence, even though he admitted everything that happened. And so there you go. And none of that works. 2021, Jesse actually goes to try to file a petition for clemency with the governor.
Yeah.
Because that is the only way. There is no court route for him. He has all of his appeals are gone. The only route he can go is clemency from the governor. And governor not real excited to pardon people who shot people, shot tourists, and then or not tourists, but shot people in a tourist area, and then reason. Fucking fled to Mexico, then stabbed people in prison and tried to escape. Really not a lot to gain politically.
Zero gain also. They
nothing.
They did it for nothing.
Nope. They do say this. Jesse was an angry, insecure 19-year-old who lashed at others, culminating in him taking the lives of 2 people. Jesse feels constant remorse for the pain he senselessly inflicted on the victims' families and his own family, and strives each day to be a better person than he was the day before. Today, he's a caring, friendly man that adults in custody and staff members enjoy being around.
Okay, so stay there then.
The DA said, I told them what I believed to be true, and that meant that we would never, ever hear from Jesse McAllister again. There'd be no parole hearing. There'd be no appeals. He said he's horrified because he promised the families they'd never have to hear his name again.
Right.
But he forgot about clemency requests when he did that. And you can't, I guess, statutorily, you can't block those. So, yeah, they said that we're putting a big-time opposition to it because we don't want to see the guy out, the new DA says. And Tasha, Casey's daughter, said, as I read through this several times, looking and searching for any inclination of remorse or empathy toward the family, I didn't find anything in there. I found nothing apologizing for the trauma he's caused and the lifelong devastation that it's caused my family.
Yeah.
She did say, though, quote, it didn't take away my dreams and ambitions from coming to fruition. I still worked really hard and got into college and have a really good career, nice. But it definitely makes things a lot more difficult. It did devastate our family and tear my family completely apart. My older brother has never fully recovered from the incident.
Ah, damn it.
The one on the fishing boat. And Brad, he is at the Snake River Correctional Institution, looking at 2029
in Idaho.
So I don't know if they put that in Idaho or there, but they trade prisoners sometimes. Yeah. Either way, though, that is where he is. They're stuck, and Brad has a chance of getting out someday.
Yeah, if he keeps it together in there.
If he keeps it together based on his record and everything else, and based on being the less aggressive of the two.
You know what? 30 years does for you? It gives you a big window of time to fuck up in.
Yeah. And if you don't, a lot of times between 22 and 52, a lot of that's in you is burned out. You're just.
But 30 years is such a long window. Time. How many times have you fucked up in 30 years and nobody's even watching you every day?
Every day. That's what I mean. So to be able, you're a totally great point. To be able to not get in trouble in prison, you have to really be straight and narrow.
Every day you got to actively try not to get in trouble.
Fuck yeah. So anyway, there you go. Yeah. Seaside, Oregon. Just a wild story of unnecessary craziness, and two people that didn't need to be killed, and it's all stupid.
No reason. They gained nothing.
One guy liked a movie. That's why this happened.
Stupid.
This is stupid.
So stupid.
So very stupid. If you like this show, get on whatever app you're on and please give us 5 stars. It helps drive the show up the charts. It helps tremendously. If you're watching on Netflix, those thumbs up are extremely helpful. You have no idea. Thank you so much for hanging with us and doing that. We appreciate the shit out of that. Head to shutupandgivememurder.com. Damn it. Merchandise, tickets for live shows, September the 18th in Milwaukee at the Pabst. Get your tickets. There's not a lot left for that one. September the 19th in Minneapolis State Theater. Beautiful place. Get your tickets there as well. And then later on in October, we're in Dallas, we're in San Jose, we're in Sacramento. And then in November, we are in Boston and Terrytown. Get those tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all those tickets. Pile in there, goddammit. Overwhelm these people. Then definitely follow us on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Small Town Pod on Facebook. And once you do that, you got all that done. Definitely get yourself some damn Patreon is what you want. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all of the bonus episodes. And all you have to be is $5 a month or above. And that does never going to go up. And you get everything we put out. First of all, as soon as you subscribe, you get almost 400 back bonus episodes you've never heard before. Then you get new ones, 2 new ones every other week. 1 Crime and Sports, 1 Small Town Murder. You get, how much of that do they get?
It's fucking great. You get it all.
All of it, damn it. This week for Crime and Sports, Hostage Situations Part 2, because the first one it's just awesome. It was so fun. Then for Small Town Murder, Prisoner Dating Game time again. My God, get in there. 4 bachelors, 4 bachelorettes I line up in front of Jimmy, and the only thing they have in common is they're currently incarcerated violent felons. Right. And Jimmy's going to pick one of each, and then he gets, based solely on their profiles, then he gets to find out what they did and how wrong of a decision he has made. Patreon, patreon.com/CrimeInSports, just like the name of our other show, which you should listen to, Crime in Sports, and also your stupid opinions. Now, with your Patreon, you also get all the shows we put out, ad-free, 100%, and you get a shout-out at the end of the show, which is right now, Jimmy. hit me with the names of the best fucking people on earth who would at least have a reason for shooting us in the head. Hit me with them right goddamn now.
This week's executive producers are a daughter of the chosen people, James. She didn't give a name.
Oh, my. Wow. Congratulations.
She is a daughter of the chosen. Blakely Sheridan, Happy Hour in Albuquerque, poor bastard. Addie Murphy, Elena Zemmel, Megan and Mabel Fred, Sarah Pecora, Kenneth Miner, Mary Thomas, Ricky Gray. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Liz Vasquez, Janice Hill, Allison with no last name, Sherry Miller, Hunter Galster, Ryan M., Steph Martin, Kalach Bakery. Kalachi, perhaps? Kalache Bakery.
Hey,
it's with a K.
Sounds delicious.
Amanda Schmidt, Roland Nerdy.
Oh, that's a certain pastry, isn't it?
A kolache?
Isn't that a pastry, or did we find out?
I love carbs. Sounds delicious.
Sounds like something like a Well, we'll eat
Probably.
It. Send one over.
Do they only make kolache?
I have no idea if that's even a thing.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now.
Put some powdered sugar on it. Shoot it over our way. We'll fucking eat it.
Carbs with powdered sugar are the best. Ben Young, Nat Wilson, Lacey Evans, Alyssa Rosenthal, Victoria Brooke, Vicky Elliott, Swagzilla, Shadow Freddy. I don't know what that means. Edelrom, Ed Hellrum. S, the letter S, yes. Jessica Bryant, Leslie Galbraith, Frey with no last name, Mark Brockman, codename Reaction, December N, Carissa or Charissa Evans, Aunt Sharon and Uncle Death, Jen Herman, Jill Kryzak, Gina Gilmore, Julia Duncan, LG Bracefield maybe, Issa Bow, Hyacinth, Steamy Mirabella, Steamy Mirabella, James, and her Jesus. Burlesque. Or their Sounds burlesque. I don't know. Rebecca Mason, Lila with no last name. Anastasia with no last name. Kimberly Robertson, Sly Girl with no last name. Nancy Cantwell, Karen Sly, Elizabeth with no last name. Nicole Cutright, Derek Young, the letter B, Lindsay Jones, Erica Richter, Andy's kid, Stephanie Hawkins.
There they are.
Adrian Weholt. Heather Renner, Marissa Cunningham, Hugh Janus, that's definitely somebody's name.
That's
Brenda with no last name.
Sure.
Brad with no last name. Destiny Watkins Akina, Laura Muse, Laurel with no last name. Corey McKenna, Tatiana Funderburg, Rebecca Martin, Lance Corporal Goblin, Naismith 220, Sonia Campos, Lauren Toon or Tooney, Julianne Smith, Dave Aviles, Isabel O'Brien, Susan Lake, Victoria Peck, Taylor Hahn, Nancy McMahon probably, Manny Sierra, Jess with no last name, Vicky Gales, Christopher Hinton, Heidi Korst, Naomi and Weston Collins, Angelo Otero, Abby Ninecamp, Camp is her name, Annie Hicks, No Camp, Abby No Camp. Tamira Hopkins, Kyle DeVoe, Noah Mashak, David Ellis, Nameless DeX, Holly Morton, Margu, that can't be right, Margu? It's Mirgu, that's not Margo,
Margu.
Right?
I don't think so. That's
Jesse Hines, Laura Blackberry, Jordan Lawton, Wicca Casoda, Dana Sayers, Antoinette Apolinar, Connor M, Kelly B, Maria New, Aim K, Julie Drew, Bridget Douglas, Ben Shirtliff, Rebecca Hansen, Kyla with no last name, Samantha Gotti, Wheeler Gaming, James Dumerod, Candace Pryor, Joshua Welch, Kyle Stubbs, Sarah with no last name, Taylor with no last name, Debbie Jensen, Taryn Holt, Justin Amador, Ann Walsh, Savannah not gonna get this right. Nayagawachi.
Nice.
Nayagwachi, Robin Morris, Carly Goss, Jen with no last name, Dave Clements, Cam with no last name, John Pierce, Ethan with no last name, Mary Carol Freeman Winkler, Patricia Hernandez, Julie Furlong, Jamie Beebe, Natalie Hill, Andy with no last name, Joseph Mills, Jessica F., Tyler Mort, Hannah Shotwell, Shelley with no last name, Mr. Moose, Casey Price, Brad Crichleo, Katie Dickman, Haley with no last name, and Stacy Spitzer. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Fuck, these people are awesome, aren't they? Every goddamn week.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you so much for all that you do for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough. Keep coming back and hanging out with us. If you want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com has all the places to follow everything and find everything. Do that. Keep coming back. See us every week. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.